Okay.
Happy Tuesday.
Who's recapping this time? Last time? God.
What happened last time?
We walked into the town of Poke and found people crying because of the girl that ran off to climb the beanstalk. Alsana chilled them out a little bit.
Well, apparently
like,
she went to plant a beanstalk and then climbed it.
Yeah, she took the beans. And so they're just like, fuck.
Quote, she knew where the giants were coming from.
Yeah. And so we went to the beanstalk because we were going to go get the girl. We find a frost giant with his little puppers and take out the frost giant and begrudgingly take out the dogs. And then we're like, gotta climb the beanstalk, but a lot of us didn't have health, so I gotta take a short rest then, gotta climb the beanstalk. But we had the broom, so it was fine. And so we got up there, we find giant sheep, who are fairly, just really cool. One of them who was, like, he's just really, some of them are really sleepy. It was great. And we sort of walked in, saw, what did we see? Was it a archway?
There was a big walled garden.
Yeah.
Outside of a side door of the castle.
And building.
Big walled garden. Yes. And then there was a building. And we went, huh? So we peek in and we see, I don't know what the monsters were called.
Peritons and wyverns.
Yep.
Okay. So, peritons and wyverns, yes? Okay, awesome. So we were like, okay, and a couple of them were like digging at the ground, and it was confusing out of character and character. So we try and go in stealthily, and it doesn't really work that well. But we are able to draw them all out to the entrance where we were instead of us going into the garden and sort of going into the territory. Take them out, bada bing, bada boom, and there is a voice coming from the place they were digging at, and that's where we ended off.
Yep. As you heard a voice call out, who's there? Because suddenly there was a lot of screeching and flapping and screams of dying winged things.
Cola's gonna call it in halfling. Hello?
I believe we're your saviors for the rather large piece you've bitten off and can't quite seem to chew.
Alright. Have you guys moved into the garden at this point? Because I think you ended outside of it.
Yes.
Alright.
Alsana would have at least floated over to the area.
In that case, you see crawling out from what looks like it was some kind of oversized burrow between some of the giant pumpkins, right about where those two monsters were digging a little bit ago. You see this individual.
Oh.
A young halfling, brown hair, brown eyes. She doesn't quite have the fancy red scarf. She's more ruggedly dressed. She's dragging behind her a shepherd's crook and has what looks like a cooking knife tucked through her belt and a small pouch on one side. She looks to be late teens, middle to late teens. She might be 15, 16, 17 at most.
Did you climb this on your own?
Dusts herself off. Looks at you. Well, yeah, how do you think I got up here?
Very, very impressive. I'm proud of you, but...
For all I could have guessed you planted it underneath you and simply rode it up.
Yeah.
Thought about that, but it didn't quite work out, so I climbed.
So,
did you plant
you're
it,
saying
though?
this one worked out then? Because I must say, I am impressed with your hiding under a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. They took me by surprise.
No, but the burrowing is frankly amazing, but
that was already there when I got here. Anyway, thanks, I guess, but now that you've done that, don't really need your help going home, so thank you again. So long, and she starts heading towards...
Alsana, grabs the back of the scarf. Hold on there, dear.
Get it! Let go!
here's the thing. Believe it or not, getting down is a bit of a different task than getting up.
Yeah, I'm not going down yet. I haven't checked everything out.
And you expect to do much?
Oh, look, I'm not gonna actually, fight anything. I just want to
No,
see
you're right,
what
you
there
won't.
is.
You'll get killed by something. Like you were just about to hear had we not stumbled across your, sorry site. And...
Hey, look, they weren't getting too far. Those things aren't good at digging. They would have given up eventually.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm.
You would have...
Quick question, small one.
Hey.
And, yeah?
How
Stretch?
good? Yeah, I like that. How good are you with sharp objects?
How good am I at sharp...
With
What?
sharp objects.
Dude, you forget, we are here to make sure she returns safely.
She
Right,
points
she
at the
could-
cooking knife on her belt.
If she can defend herself, she can turn even more safely. Do you want a javelin rather than a knife?
Kane,
No.
An axe?
Alright.
No,
not fair.
no.
No.
Don't give no weapons for children.
Hey, I'm
it's
not a
time for all of us.
child.
no, you're not. You're an...
Teenager.
You're a rebellious
Hey, look.
adolescent.
I've been keeping the sheep for 2 years now, all by myself.
And that's a good excuse to have your mother in a pile of tears down on the ground.
And this wasn't a feat to show that you could be independent.
No. Look,
If anything, this
I
would give your mother a heart attack and keep
No,
you
listen.
grounded.
I was out watching the sheep, doing my job, doing what I'm supposed to. Okay, that's the thing that I do. Nobody puddles up crying on that. Anyway, I'm doing that, and I see some giants, and I see a big one float down, meet the other big ones, float back up with a cart full of sheep. Okay? I know he's up here somewhere. I can be very quiet when I need to be. So,
What color was that giant that floated down and up?
color? He wasn't the blue one, but he kind of had blue hair.
Well, okay, let's put something else out here, since you seem to, lack a bit of understanding. The two rotund giants and the one blue one with the wolves are dead.
Oh, okay, cool, great. That makes it easier. I think there might just be one left, but I haven't gotten as far as the castle to check it out.
What do you
There could
intend
be
to
two.
do to him?
Spy on him?
And?
I don't know, maybe if he fell asleep I could do something, but mostly I just wanted to see what's going on, maybe nick some stuff back and get back down the beanstalk, and then there's more
Return to
information,
your-
right?
Return to your standard life of being, held at ransom from giants for your sheep.
Heck no. Then I was gonna go and be able to, if we actually got any help from that cult or from Winslethor even, then I would be there to say, hey, I know how many giants there are. I know how to get into the castle. Follow me. And it'd be great.
Well, I hate to say you've given a bit of redundancy to things. As we are that help.
Oh, okay, great.
And we find ourselves perfectly fine getting up here without the need for your help. Sorry to say, the three giants down on the ground are dead and dealt with. The issue would have been dealt with. But then you decided to take it into your own hands and head up here. And leave your friends and family down on the ground, assuming the most likely option of your death.
That was gonna be fine.
Wasn't necessarily the best decision, though.
Do
Could have waited
you
until we got
honestly,
here, too.
in all of your capacity, believe that the two of multiple more in this garden, large beasts, would have stopped and given up burrowing into under the giant pumpkin to have a nice little snack?
What happens if they would have alerted the giant that there was something there? The fact that if the giant came out, it's
What if a
reasonable.
mortal being up here on his
Yeah, okay,
little
okay, I
property
get it.
pissed
I
him
get
off?
it. I get it. Okay? You don't have to keep going. I got it. But, fact, I'm here now. Fact! Giant up there. Fact! You're here to deal with him. Fact! You don't want to babysit me all the way back down the beanstalk. So,
No, I think I
how
do.
about... No. No, you don't.
Oh,
You
sorry.
don't want to
Oh
baby.
boy.
I thought we were
Listen.
stating facts. My fact is that I was tasked by your mother to keep you in good health. And the fact is that we don't know what else is here in this strange land above on top of clouds. Now, if you're an expert and you've been here before, please regale me with exactly what sort of wildlife comes around here. But if that's not the case, which I know it isn't, fact, then perhaps you can stay behind us, where it's safest, instead of wandering off and getting assaulted by something like you just did 10 minutes ago.
Roll a quick persuasion check. I don't
Alright.
use those enough.
Is it not intimidation?
Are you
Same
deliberately
thing.
trying to scare her into it? Because I'll allow it if you're... Okay, same thing.
Yep, a hard +0.
Yeah, no guidance, because you're kind of in the middle of doing the talking. So 60. Yeah, she kind of deflates as you go along, though she still retains a little bit of that particular youthful belligerence, I suppose. But it's starting to lapse into sullenness.
I understand very well the want for independence. Something I'm very familiar with. But when there's people there who truly care about you, it's not a good feeling to return after you've gone off on your own and they were left nothing but worried.
Alright, fine. That just seems like a waste to go all the way back and all the way here, and he'll notice that you've killed the other ones by then, probably, if the bodies are down there. And
Oh no, we're finishing things here. Make no mistake.
look, it's getting kind of late. If I wasn't stopped by them, I was gonna go and find some corner to hole up in. Done it before. The sheep fields.
I think it's better that you go home. Get some rest in your bed.
Can't let her wander back down.
We can bring her down. I think we may need some rest as well, Asana.
No, that's what I mean. I was gonna make safe camp. I'm good at making things hard to find, usually. I'm not completely helpless or useless or stupid.
We never said that.
I didn't think that.
We
I
just
think
said
you
it
were
wasn't
just,
the best decision.
I just think the headstrong was running a bit wild in you.
Frankly, my biggest concern is that if it does find out that a fight did happen, it's not going to go looking up here for someone to kill. It might take revenge in the village. I'd rather be there in case it does happen.
Yeah, if he comes down to the village, then it's going to be an issue.
That's the residence, is it not? She points over to the building.
You guys are right up against it.
Yep.
Like, you are pointing up. The door within the garden, with the long, broad stone steps leading up to it, is a door in the side of the castle itself. So, yeah, you found it.
We don't know the time required on that front. We do, however, have our, and she kind of like puts a hand on Gilly's head, the time-sensitive issue. We can do a manner of things right now.
Can we just do one thing? I was just gonna sneak in, nick one little something. Everybody knows giant castles are full of treasure.
Alsana like gives this like a mix between a pitiful grin and a grimace on her face.
I do
Like-
like her gumption, I'm not going to lie.
Yikes,
Can she roll
yeah.
like
Just-
a history check or anything to know how reasonable that assumption is?
Sure, go ahead.
Alright, guidance.
History 19 plus
23.
4, 23. All things considered, you know that there are certain giants who live in, like, mountaintops or on top of clouds, even such as this one. And of those, there are typically either cloud giants or storm giants. And in either case, there is something of a noted love of shiny objects, magical objects, treasures, rarities. Tastes might vary a little bit from giant to giant, and even from type of giant to type of giant. But Jilly's assumption isn't so off base.
Is she also aware that they would likely highly guard such a stash?
It's not quite like a dragon where it's kind of gathered a horde into a single defensible location. They like to spread out and display.
Okay.
So there's perhaps a chance of just ducking in a hallway, finding like a trinket on a table that can be carried off. Because that's the other tricky part, is that a trinket to a giant can be much larger to a medium-sized humanoid, so it's the difference between something the giant looted or plundered versus something the giant had another giant actually make.
Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna ask, is like
It can vary.
the logistics of a halfling running out with a gold bar as big as they are.
If she found like a chest of stuff that had been plundered from other areas, it could just be like handfuls of gems or even gold coins from other lands or something like that. Easy to stuff in pockets or in a pouch.
Just also on that roll, it's also to know enough that farm girl can't exactly be expected to be keen enough to do such a task.
Keen enough in terms of skill?
Yeah, in terms of like CR, I guess.
Average farm girl, no, you'd have to be a pretty high CR adventurer to solo run a giant's castle. However, there have been various like minor legends and stuff that they could be made up, they could be based into historical fact, who knows, of apparently ordinary people, or maybe at best very low-level adventurers, actually successfully doing such a thing by being very stealthy and very lucky.
Okay.
Just a quick question out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Dex score and current hit points. Compared to mine. 36 and 12. Sorry, 12 and 36.
Higher dex, much lower hit points.
I mean, she looks pretty quick. I'm not super into the idea, but if it'll keep her happy, it'll...
Also, like, gives this like dead glance, like, why are you going along with everything she is asking of you?
Why don't we all go down, get some rest, and then we'll come back up. We can give you something.
Sure.
So that'll keep you a bit better.
I was personally gonna say we stake out here, but
We could camp, but one of us would have to send a message to the mother, because she did say she was preparing dinner and may get a bit worried if all 5 of us don't come back.
you have an owl, don't you?
I don't think I can talk through it.
But you can tie a note to its foot.
That's true. Does anyone have any IF parchment?
I was gonna say,
Sana has
someone
plenty.
does.
I'm like, do I have parchment? I'm like, I'm dumb, I write letters in this one. Colin's gonna just write out a little note saying, like, we're the adventurers from the cult. Everyone's okay. We're
Also
gonna
leans
camp out
over
here.
Galda's shoulders, like, do you have to use cult?
Correct.
It's correct. It's correct.
Go with giant slayers.
We're the it's called a little cross out. We're
Scribble 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 giant slayers.
brackets cult in really tiny letters. Everything is okay up here. We're gonna spend the night up here, then come down in the morning. Everything is fine. Jilly is fine. Don't worry.
Is it Gilly or Jilly?
It's Jilly.
Okay.
Jilly, okay. It's all
The J. kidding.
It's all Devin. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow in the morning or afternoon. She's all right in our care, and she'll sign. Just put like a little doodle of a star, and then put it on Mori, and just go
Okay.
to the village.
Woohoo. Mori spreads his wings and takes off. We see a little owl dot disappearing over the top of the wall and out into the distance. Count off about 100 feet, and then the telepathic connection gets fuzzy and muffled and dim. He's not gone from the world, but you can't actually communicate with him at this point. And he is well on his way.
Well, he's on. He's going. We'll start setting up camp.
Luckily, it's not too much of a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are we camping in the garden, or?
Maybe we should do outside of the garden,
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to
just in case
head over to where the sheep are?
the goats. Yes.
If you have any suggestions, young one, you said you're good at hiding this kind of stuff.
There's a lot more leafy cover in here. But if you really want to get away from in there, then there's some pretty tall grass and some hilly areas. We could try.
There's a number of dead flying things out front. All it takes is a glance out the window from the giant's end to know something's up.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
We'd rather not be here when he investigates the bodies.
Or we could sneak inside, find an empty room, tuck under something. Giant furniture's gotta be big. He'll never expect it.
What makes you think giants don't check under the bed for monsters?
Less monsters, more grubby little tiny things.
Maybe outside.
Yeah, that's
is
probably
better.
more accurate.
Are you looking for treasure to run away with money with, or what?
Can you
No.
blame her?
You seem rather fixated on the concept. Glory? Just
I mean,
to
it's
say you
not
did,
really-
brag at bars?
No. It's, bit of extra money could do a lot of good in, the town, the family, and stuff.
You clearly have the urge to adventure and make a name for yourself, too. You can be honest here.
Okay, I've heard a lot of stories, and it seems really fun.
Just got a point.
And my granddad was an adventurer for a while, and it's just like, you grow up with this stuff, and it's like...
That's not raising an eyebrow. Do you have any, magic to you?
Nah. I mean, I've never really tried. Nobody's ever taught me, so I don't know.
And also, I'll just, throw some, druidcraft sparks and, winds her way. It can
Whoa.
be, rather fun.
Yeah.
I'm willing to learn.
I mean, maybe someday.
You work with
I don't think
animals.
I'm like... Yeah, I don't know that I'm really like an all magic-y sort of person, but maybe.
Some just
Magic
don't know until
powerful.
they try.
Half magic-y can work too. Or no magic-y.
Or you
Yeah.
can get it from some god. Did wonders for one of our members.
Let's start setting up camp, and then we can discuss.
She's like eyeing each of you, trying to figure out which one. And then
Alsana gives a
decides that it
grin.
must be Alsana. Okay, I see.
Nice try. It's the one with the crossbow.
Really, him?
Yes, mine is all self-discovered, learned,
Ah.
practiced.
I figured it would be the one in robes for sure.
Solid line of thinking.
Okay, anyhow, let's go find a place. So you guys are going back outside of the garden, kind of into the surrounding fields area.
Yep.
Jilly is going to attempt to find a good place to camp. However, if anybody else wants to also roll a survival check,
Alsana
I'll
will,
allow...
can she give a quick little scout with her broom? Maybe take Jilly on it?
Jilly turns it down, says she prefers to stick to the ground.
Interesting choice to travel then.
I will say that if you're scouting around, then it's a perception check, and you sharing the results could lower any, basically make the rolls more effective. Lower DC sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
Fuck.
26. Yep. Joey, 30 perception. You see all. Yeah, you're flying over this area. Jilly's right. There's not a lot of natural cover. However, you do come across a very promising looking area. It's kind of a blind spot from any of the castle windows from what you can see. There don't seem to be any goats going nearby it, at least not at the moment. Maybe not even recently, going by the pattern of the chomping of the grass and the trampling. There's it's a low rise. There's a few bushes. It's not too far from the castle, so you'll be able to hear anything that happens. But you won't be easily seen, you or any sort of structure or anything that you put together. You point this out. Jilly comes over, as does Kane, the rest of them as well. Kind of looks at it. She nods, and Kane, you help, but very quickly realize that Jilly seems to have this whole putting together a temporary structure thing kind of under control.
Alsana will hold out a
also-
finger with a flame on the end of it if she needs to light a fire.
Yep. Also, Alsana, on that 30 perception as you're flying around, taking a look, in one of the castle windows, you see a little, you see a shape, a figure, not humanoid, not a giant. It looks kind of feline. You think for a moment of times when you've, walked through a town or a city and you've seen like a high open window and somebody's pet cat lounging on the windowsill, not really looking at
Alsana's
anything in
done some of that
particular.
herself.
Oh yeah, you're very familiar with it on both sides. Just, tail hanging down, swinging lazily. You think you see that, but in a giant's window and almost scaled to proportion.
Can she make a nature check?
Go ahead and make a nature check. 16, you can probably add, I don't know. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Alright. It's a 20.
It would kind of be a reactionary, almost guidance to... Yeah. I double thought it, but I already said it and you already rolled it, so we'll go.
Alright.
Let's see. It's a really big cat. On a 20, you also see it's a really big cat with some really big teeth.
Lovely.
It's not a lot of like kinds of wildcats you come across. Possibly some teeth. Giant might have some pets.
Clearly.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me double check something.
Mm-hmm. Oh?
Oh, this will be great. Okay. Hold on. Because we're taking a long rest, right?
That is the
Please.
plan.
Give me a second, I'm Googling.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, I see. Oh, I know.
Nope.
Oh god.
Polymorph?
Not polymorph.
Checking the CR so she can wild shape into it.
Yeah.
Probably not good form to check the CR monster we might potentially fight.
No, I'm
Yeah.
checking what my CR is. CR1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you can...
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah. If your max CR right now is 1, then you would not be able to turn into it. However, you know about it for the future.
Oh, yeah. I very much figured it was higher than 1, so just, yeah, no. Never mind.
Mhm.
Although she could prepare polymorph.
If you felt like it.
Yeah.
So, with that, the shelter is completed and constructed, and you are going without a fire tonight, just in case the light and smoke would draw attention despite the blind spot and the excellent location. So it's pretty much a night of cold, dry rations, that sort of thing. And you bunk down. In this in this circumstance, the situation, you would probably be taking watch, I assume. So, what is the watch pattern?
Alsana will stay for the first half since she's already kind of been doing some scouting.
Actually, I was gonna say Kane do the same thing because he's still relatively good for a fight.
Okay, so Kane and Alsana first. Second watch.
I guess I'll go second.
All right, and then third would then be Alaris.
Alaris, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, John's still here.
Okay.
Sorry about second
Yes.
watch, guys.
All right. So as everybody beds down, Kane and Alsana stay up. Each of you can go ahead and roll a perception check for the duration of your watch.
Guidance?
You can guidance.
Great.
This is pretty deliberate. So 23 and 21. You both are very, very alert. Keeping a good eye out. You feel still awake, still, if not fresh, then ready if anything comes your way. And let's see.
And now roll for how destroyed we become.
Well, little way through the watch, you're looking up, you're looking around, and in the gathering darkness, you hear a very distant, I cannot do the squawk or screech sounds. It doesn't sound unlike some of what you heard in the garden. The cry becomes a little bit more clear and sharp over a very brief period of time, and you hear the swoof, swoof, swoof of wings. As I am going to go ahead and take those survivals, kind of treat them as stealth in a sense, plus a little bonus because of that very good perception. So let's say it's a +3. So you've got a 23, and this thing flying overhead is going to try to... Actually, no. Oh, wait. It could if it rolled a 19 or a 20. It does not seem to see you as it circles overhead. You sit crouched low in the darkness watching as this form cuts off your view of some of the stars that have come out of the evening. Circles around and then keeps flying.
Guess we avoided another issue.
I expected there to be more. Not that surprising.
Just glad it's not gonna be a problem.
Right now.
Oh,
Alsana heading.
the other watches.
You finish the rest of your watch without any further incident or issue. You wake Calda. Calda, it is very, very dark.
Yes.
You've got-
But it won't work for a little bit.
Okay. You've got a little area of light, a little pool of it that you can watch from.
No, I'm not gonna light the lantern.
Okay, you're gonna stay in the dark. Go ahead and roll a disadvantaged perception check, as you are relying mostly on ears and other senses.
Yep.
So 3.
Has the bird come back? No.
Sitting in the dark, and you are hearing like every single rustle, every single chirp of a bird or buzz of an insect. Not a bird, chirp and buzz of various nighttime insects. Jumping a little bit every time and looking around wildly, clutching your weapon. Because you can't see anything. You don't know if that little creak in the distance is just a little bit of like a distant, scraggly tree rubbing in the wind, or if it's something actually coming across that tree or across the ground towards you. But hours pass for an eternity of time, and nothing seems to happen in that watch.
Oh, thank God.
You finally judge that it's getting close enough to the final part of the night, the darkest right before dawn, that you need to go wake Alaris. You do so. Alaris? Go ahead and give me a perception check. John, are you there?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just had to see. Oh, fuck. Why does this keep happening to me? I hate this. Every
Wow.
time, first roll, anytime I
Can I
do a
have
session, it's a natural one.
All right,
I'm cursed.
purely because it's in that one, can I have a luck roll, just a d20, just to see?
Oh no.
Okay. All right. Yeah. As the as your watch wears on, you can see perfectly well through the darkness at a much greater distance than anybody else in the party. But somehow you don't actually see or really notice anything until it's a sudden realization that, oh heck, one of those giant goats is still awake at this hour, or is already awake perhaps. It's just starting to get to the gray part right before sunrise. And has actually wandered quite close and is on a bit of grass. Basically a stone's throw away, maybe 20, maybe 30 feet.
Uh-huh.
And as you watch this enormous goat crunch, crunch, crunch placidly at the vegetation nearby, very, very suddenly, there is a rush, a shriek of wind, and then, phew, and out of nowhere, plummeting from the darkened sky, comes an enormous winged form, bigger than any of the wyverns, bigger than almost anything you've ever seen. It is this confused impression of whistling sound, a rising shriek, the scream of the goat, as enormous claws wrap around it as if it was nothing more than a mouse, and jerk it up into the air and fly away. Without, it seems, seeing you or your companions. So, having that frightening experience, you can spend the last hour of your watch just on edge and looking everywhere.
And putting on new pants.
Yeah, possibly that's up to you. But newly aware of the fact that there is not just a bigger fish, there's a bigger bird in this world than anything you've ever dreamed of in your worst nightmares. However, at the end of that, you wake the others, or as they start to wake themselves, and you've got the second day of this month and of this adventure in front of you.
Okay.
Oh, my much needed hit dice. Welcome back.
So yes, everybody click your long rest stuff. Make sure you've got that squared away.
It's a good thing I double checked if my level up had gone through with the number yet, because it didn't.
Oh yeah, we don't have that.
What's our proficiency now?
It's still 3,
Okay.
but I think because we had just had an ASI, which is why.
It's 9 that goes up next, right? 5, 9, 13, and 18?
I think so.
17. 18. One of those two.
Right. Well, Jilly bounces awake, stretches, goes, see, that wasn't so bad. Everything's fine, right?
Actually,
What?
I saw there was a big thing. You know those goats? Yeah, one got taken by something that is much bigger than anything I'd ever seen. It didn't notice us, thankfully. But,
That's right.
yeah. Yes.
Great.
And I described to Alsana what I saw in the night.
And you sure it didn't notice us?
I'm sure.
And you only saw it as it was right beside you.
Yep. Phenomenal. I know.
Can Salsana have any idea what it would be?
It might depend a little bit on the accuracy of Elaris's description, which is perhaps a little bit muddled by night and the speed of everything happening.
And the natural one?
And the natural one.
Nature
I'm gonna
disadvantage?
Basically, it's nature disadvantage with the high DC. If by some miracle you pull it off, then by some miracle you pull it off.
Alright. Plus guidance.
Yep.
$20.
20? It's not bad, but it was a higher DC than that. But you did really well considering the circumstances. Yeah, you can start. I'd say that from the information that Alaris would be able to give you, you can at least discern that this thing is. It's got to be huge, if not gargantuan in size, to have been able to pluck up a giant goat like that.
Bird
You've
or
got
dragon?
pretty much two categories. Well, a screech was mentioned. Is an impression of feathers from what was said.
Well then.
Olaris might not know what it is, but I'm starting to have a couple ideas as to what it might be.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm gonna
good
say
thing-
that Alsana, that is as far as you can figure anything out.
Well, I have a few ideas, but I quite frankly don't have anything to confirm them with in terms of details, thanks to Olaris's detailed description.
Were they
Sorry,
all-
it was fast.
Lars, don't apologize.
And
You're just being
feathery
moody.
and screaming. And that's all we have. However,
Are they all bad ideas that you may think what it is?
generally yes.
Oh, well, thanks. Anything that it didn't see us.
Usually things that large are not friendly and weak.
So, okay, Jilly says, so we sneak to the castle?
Seems a good
Oh,
idea to me.
yes. I think that's a good idea.
Yes, let's consider that an obstacle rather than a challenge. For now, at least.
How far away from the castle are we?
You've got a pretty good distance. I'd say that, several hundred feet. Like, Elaris might just be able to shoot something on the closest part of that garden wall to where you are now. Just barely.
I've got my one use of the spell to hide us. Should I use it now?
To you, actually, here, let me, as I go and check and maybe prepare spells for Alsana.
Oh, yeah.
She will. I don't have it on the sheet right now, but she'll prepare flame arrows.
Okay.
And
It is noted.
as well. Yeah, she'll take erupting earth.
Erupting Earth? Okay.
And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She gets prepared to 13. So for now, I'll drop Speak with Animals for the Erupting Earth and Flame Arrow. She's got Moonbeam, Lesser Restoration, Healing Spirit, Spell Magic, Cold Lightning, Plant Growth, Speak with Dead. Speak with Dead is always prepared, never mind. Probably not that one.
Has the owl returned?
Oh, actually, yeah. Moray would have returned. Written on the back of the parchment you sent is a note in very scratchy, uneven handwriting, clumsy. Kind of like somebody who knows how to write but doesn't get a lot of practice with it. And it reads, in really, frankly, terrible spelling. That is good. And it is spelled kind of like Good's name.
Okay. Hey, Kane, I don't know why they put your name on here.
Hope to see soon.
Alright. Okay, and she'll prepare Flaming Sphere as well.
Okay.
Just write it down real quick so I remember, but just on record, even though it's not on her sheet right now, Flame Arrow, Erupting Earth, Flaming Sphere.
Okay. That is something for you to jot down and remember, because I promise I will forget.
I think Erupting Earth you can drag on if you're.
Yeah, no,
if
it's
it works
basically
with that.
yeah, but I'm recording right now.
That's true.
Yeah. Don't want to muck things up too much. Alright. So, guys, break camp. Get ready to head across towards the castle. Jilly will take point unless somebody really objects.
No, not really.
Alsana might stay closer to the front as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll call that.
I guess Kane will take the very back, and Lars can take the third to the back.
Alright, so everybody roll a stealth check plus 10 bonus.
Alsana guidance
Jilly
herself.
is at 27.
15.
Dear God, you guys.
I have a plus
don't do
1.
this again.
18.
I have a +4, but armor.
18.
With guidance, though. There we
22.
go.
And Alaris.
Alaris.
Stealth.
Yes.
Yes.
There we
20.
go.
The highest roll of the party.
Wow. Great. I feel
Highest
amazing
higher,
about
actually.
that.
Yeah,
Highest
aside
natural
from
roll.
guidance.
Highest natural roll.
Aside from that, yeah, Jilly as well. But from the regular party, yep. At one point, Jilly actually has started to creep a little bit ahead of you guys and has to stop, turn around, wait for you to catch up. You guys sneak so slow.
One of us is in armor.
I have tiny legs.
Yes,
Yeah.
so do I.
It's not the armor, it's the legs.
Jilly points at herself, who is also a halfling and short. Her speed isn't higher. She just seems able to move stealthily at a faster clip.
Maybe you're just good at being a bit sneakier. I haven't had the practice.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, I'll slow down for you guys, but be careful. However, with that, you sneak up to the garden. The bodies are undisturbed. Seems that nothing has actually come out over the evening and night, or into this part of the morning. You sneak over to the steps. And fun fact, every riser of these stair steps goes up about 3 feet or so and is about 5 feet along. So basically, everybody is having to pull themselves up a little bit, kind of like climbing up onto a short wall. Calda and Jilly in particular do struggle a little bit more. And then you have to walk a short distance before pulling up the next one. There's about 4 or 5 of these steps in the garden, just going up to the lintel of the door. Once you get up there, go ahead and have a couple people roll perception checks, as you are
I'll
looking
try.
for a crack, a way to get in.
Guidance.
Okay, 15 and
Motherfucker.
17. Alright, yeah, Alsana, Caldo spots it too, but Alsana spots it just before. You two see a narrow little, a place where the door has gotten kind of, either dented or perhaps it was, bashed into something hard once. And so down at one corner, it's kind of pushed inwards a bit. It could be a bit of a tight squeeze for some of you, but you should be able to get through it just fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think if Alsana like goes to point it out, Caldo do just a second after and go, shit.
But once it's seen, Jilly will go over there, pull herself up onto the doorstep, and just kind of slip right through. Being small, she has less trouble than some of the medium ones might be. Basically, it is a very low DC athletics check for medium-sized creatures in the party to squeeze through without getting stuck and needing help.
Alsana is going to.
Kane, you get through just fine. Alsana finds a creative solution and just flaps through.
And then we'll just
Calda, you are
float over
fine.
onto Gilly's head.
Yep, I'm tiny.
Yep. And your armor is flexible enough that even that doesn't give you trouble. That means Ilaris, quick athletics check, as you are the last one to attempt to enter the castle. Yeah, you are just fine. You kind of
Finally.
pull yourself through. You got a slender enough build that it doesn't give you too much trouble. And now that you are inside, you see a fittingly enormous room, though really it stretches off in 2 directions. It is far, far wider than it is long from where you're standing in the doorway. And so you realize that this room must be a hallway. But the ceilings are up like about 45, 50 feet tall. Alsana, you could probably gauge that. You could fly up there in a broom in about 5-6 seconds.
She's still in bird form.
Oh, yeah. But you're still, like, gauging broom distances, too.
No problem.
So, there are a couple of doors closed on the inside wall, but on either side, either end of the hallway, far distant from where you stand, it seems to curve or bend inwards towards the inside of the castle. There's a number of ways to go, and aside from just the fact that you're in a scaled-up version of a castle hallway, you are also seeing some of the first instances of really just beautiful things. There is a absolutely incredible, enormous tapestry on the wall that you face just now, between where the doors are. It's a scene that depicts what seems to be some kind of battlefield, a war between various giants on clouds and others on the ground. There are rocks being thrown. There are gleaming swords done in what seems to be silver thread. The entire thing is bordered in a pattern of woven gold and red and various deep, rich colors. And it's not something that you would be able to pick up and take with you, but it's a first inkling that, yes, perhaps there are some kind of there is some kind of appreciation perhaps for art, for treasure, for shiny things that were probably pretty expensive and time consuming to make.
Real quick side note. I'll use I'll use a kind of mulligan or whatever. I forgot that ravens don't have the keen sight.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Elsana was an owl instead.
I will allow the one.
Yeah, I'm fine with not being able to take anything back this whole time. Just make it
Alright.
worth it for now.
You do have Mori in the party too, so
Yep.
you got a
But
couple
now
of owls.
Elsana's perception bonus is +8.
All right.
This respects my owl.
You look around and having a number of directions to choose from and no clear sign as to which is the best, you see Jilly just kind of point one way, point the other way, and then point back the first way and just start nodding in that direction.
Elsana's on Jilly's head.
Okay. So you're kind of
Just
swaying a little bit, but you keep your head still in order to see properly.
Yep.
Cub's just following them.
Alright, and as you sneak through this castle, looking around, the distances are long compared to any other building that you've ever been in, naturally. It's vast in size and scope, and as you wind through various hallways, kind of taking turns at random, going through doors and doorways when they're open, you start to see more and more of that fabled rich interior. There are all over the walls various tapestries. There are entire frescoes at some points carved into the stone of the wall itself, or carved of another stone and seemingly either installed or in some other way attached to the walls that the stone that the castle had been built out of. There are statues in plinths, enormous, carved from beautiful marbles and obsidians, and some that look like they might have been carved from some gorgeous swirling wood with colors throughout and polished to a shine. Most of these are giant size and perhaps giant made, but you do occasionally come across like a high plinth or with an item on top of it that's a little bit more humanoid sized, perhaps. You start to see various shelves and cabinets with glass paned fronts that have a number of things on display. Sometimes you pass through a room with beautiful fur rugs almost carpeting the ground. You see tables, chairs, four-poster beds with what looks like silk draping all around it. There are inlays on walls and doors the further into the castle you get, gems set into the decor. And then there's scattered throughout smaller pieces here and there, stuff that probably was made by or taken from humanoids instead of giants. Just scattered like little trinkets in between these larger, more impressive pieces. If anybody wants to look around for something to catch your interest, you can go ahead and do a quick perception check. Jilly is looking around, but hasn't seemed to have grabbed anything just yet.
I'm gonna look through the owl's eyes. I forgot to get his stats up. Fuck.
Okay. Yep. Very good. All right, with a 23 for Kane and a 23 for Alsana so far, at least.
No guidance because she's an owl, but advantage because
Yep.
she's an owl.
Yep. That is the trade-off. And an 18 for Calda, looking through Mori's eyes. Yeah, let's see. I will say that the 23s find a couple of perhaps more expensive, more special things. The 18 isn't too far behind though. So let's see. What have I got written down? Yeah, right now these are mostly just trinkets. Kane and Alsana each spot. I'll say Kane spots a piece that's like humanoid sized, humanoid make. What seems to be a golden, almost a collar style necklace with broad flat pieces that are meant to lay across somebody's chest a little bit. Made of gold and inlaid with turquoise, red jasper. It's a gorgeously worked piece, but for all its beauty of design, there is something very simple about it that might be somewhat appealing.
Oh my god, that's so tingling. Okay.
Yep. Alsana, you spot actually a small chest in a room propped open, and as you pass through, you see the fabric kind of half draped out of it, almost in a display kind of way, and you reach out and just rub your fingers across it. It is pure white, and from the feel of it, it is silk. There seems to be about 3 bolts of this in there. Go ahead and roll a quick, I'd say, history check, just out of curiosity.
Right. At this point,
It's-
Alsana will switch back to normal form.
Yeah. It's not really a guidance. Well, it could be a guidance thing if you're thinking about it deliberately. So you can add guidance in normal form.
All right. Well, never mind. 10.
10. It's silk. It's very nice quality. Calda, what you spot is probably in about the same room area as the silk. Very intriguing. This feathered bird mask. It's got beads stitched into it. It's got little gems sparkling in circles of feathers. Little edges of gold on some areas. Really beautiful. It's not too ostentatious or flashy, but you could probably sell it for a fair bit, you think.
All right.
So yeah.
Are we taking stuff from here? Yeah.
I don't
Are
see
we-
why not. If we end up running, then best take it now rather than later.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Lily,
he's
this is your expedition. What are you taking?
She's looking around. I don't know. Maybe this. And she reaches over and picks up a small, what looks like gold bracelet. It's simple. It's not as flashy as some pieces. There's not a lot of workmanship that went into it, but it seems to be like the first shiny gold thing that really caught her eye, so she just went ahead and grabbed it and is stuffing it into a side pouch on her belt.
How quaint.
Well, I'm gonna take this lovely little piece over here. Just gonna put it in this bag.
Yeah, I'll take the mask. It's not like he made it, he took it too. It's giant.
Alsana will roll up the silk and goes, I feel like I should know something here, but perhaps later will spark my imagination.
Is that you admitting you don't know something?
She kind of glances like, no, just simply all information is not available to me at all times, regrettably.
Should probably work on that at some point.
It is my life's goal.
Glad to see you have guidance.
You should work on your own things as well. You left Town looks a bit larger than you're right.
Make a fair point. Well, I think it's from the club the other day. I think it's just swollen.
Yes.
I'm happy.
Okay.
Can we continue on then?
As you keep exploring, you see a number of other very pretty, very shiny things. You don't really stop to grab anything just yet, though. Go ahead and let's have a couple of, let's call it survival rolls, just to see what else you might come across along the way. How
Guidance.
your navigation is. 22 for Kane. Well done. Jilly is going to go ahead and make an attempt. Oh god, she's been rolling well.
Christ.
Oh, I'm doing this for comedy, actually. Survival.
25.
Oh man,
Oh, it was actually pretty good.
13.
Nice.
Not bad.
22, 25, natural 2023.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least in terms of like survival navigation and stuff, Jilly has been surprisingly adept, perhaps, given her age and circumstances. Kane, you're keeping up just fine though. Alsana, you're doing just a little bit better. Elaris, Calder, you're kind of keeping an eye out on the fringes for things, but for the most part, the main three, you seem to be navigating your way almost unerringly further and further into the castle. Along the way, you come across a room that seems a little bit more lived in, a little bit less for display purposes, in a sense. In it, there is an enormous writing desk and chair, field. A window looking out over the fields. Enormous fireplace for a rug in front of it. And you see some papers up on top of the desk. And the biggest quill you've ever come across. Alsana, yes, you float freely up there. I don't suppose you don't read or speak giant, do you?
Not currently, but
All right. Well,
now she does.
any written language you can see, but must be touching the surface. Very good, very good. The page is huge, but I'm still gonna say it only takes a minute, just because. Wow.
All right.
So you go and look at the papers set kind of in the center of the desk, and you touch it to cast the spell, and you pick up on the fact that this is basically correspondence. It seems to be addressed to a Kosog, Kosog. Calls him brother, and starts to talk about, seems to almost pick up in the middle of a conversation. The tone of it is somewhat challenging, and it addresses a wager, and seems to be quibbling about certain details, and reminding Kosog that, of course, as per usual rules, if he is to interfere in any way with the war between Releg and Umbar in his favor, then the bet is off completely. And naturally, it'll be the same for the writer of this letter. The size of the wager seems to be a little bit in question, according to what you're reading. Basically, the writer of this letter is asking whether Kosog really thinks that his, prize collection of statues of such and such, you get into a lot of technical details of, oh, okay, somebody is thinking that something is worth less than his own wager. But you get to the end and see that basically it's adding that the writer of the letter has moved just a little bit closer across the dragon's spine in order to keep a closer eye on proceedings, just to be sure, and so that the letters will send back and forth much quicker. And naturally, because he's on the opposite side of this land area than the battles, of course he couldn't possibly affect whether Azora will join Umbar in the war and bring them victory, so, no worries there. And it is signed Kolgar the Rainmaster.
Huh. And of note, the war it's talking about is the one that we're kind of already aware of, yeah?
Yeah, you guys have been aware of various aggressions between Releg and Umbar over the territory of the Emerald Fields and the fertile farmland therein.
And so, just to recap, they're basically making bets on which side's gonna win, and they're telling each other to not interfere in the war such that they guarantee their win of the wager.
Yep.
Alright.
And arguing a little bit over exact terms of, who's winning what if their chosen side should come out victorious.
And whose side is whose?
Kolgar, the person who wrote the letter, the signature at the bottom, is betting that Azora will join Umbar and defeat Releg, basically as part of an alliance. Oh, no, wait. I mixed up names. I made them too similar. Kosog thinks that Azora is going to join Umbar. Kolgar bets that Azora stays the hell out of it, and Releg is going to win.
Okay. So it's the three of them.
There are two.
Yeah.
It was my
the three in the
countries.
The war. Yeah.
Technically, only two are in the war.
Yep.
The bets be on a little bit.
They're talking about three. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. The question is whether Azora is going to join in or not.
Okay.
Presumably on Umbar's side, given that they share more border territory.
Right. Okay. Also, takes note of that. Is there any other while this spell is going, is there any other script she can find that she can give a quick glance over?
Yeah, I'll say that also on the desk is basically the precursor to this letter that you just read that's kind of set in the center as if maybe it had just been written. And it's kind of it is basically the letter, the prequel. How have you been? And
anything from this about what kind of giant he is? Any boats of what he can do, or... I mean, the Rainmaker thing is already kind of...
You've got Kolgar the Rainmaster signed on one, and the other signature is Kosog the Storm Rider.
Storm Rider, okay, yep.
They call each other brothers. I'm gonna say that they don't explicitly say, I am a such giant, or of the such giants, or anything like that, so...
Storm Rider, okay.
You can assume many things.
Okay, Rainmaster and Storm Rider. Okay. Alsana kind of floats back down and gives a brief summary of, seems they have some political betting going on. And given the titles they hold, or at least one of the one we're dealing with right here, right now, that I'm thinking likely they're a stormy variety. You know, the tales of things that hold lightning bolts in their hands and throw them?
Yes, that's bad.
Definitely.
Will you be able to fight properly?
Okay, how tough, quote-unquote, does Ilsana know that either a cloud or a storm that she's narrowed it down to being here can be?
Go ahead and nature check for theorizing.
Yep. basically, does she feel like they're completely out of their depth in this, or it's just like in the tougher area, or?
Oh god,
Uh-huh.
nat 20, bad your guidance.
29.
29, so close, so close. I was gonna be so excited if you got a 4.
Got a 30
But
earlier.
anyway. Yeah. So 29 on theorizing about the relative toughness of Cloud and Storm Giants versus the party.
This is the opportunity as the GM to tell us we're gonna get ourselves fucking killed.
I'm just gonna look up something for comparison's sake. Let's see. Well, compared to things you fought before, you know that in the rankings of giants, a cloud giant isn't that far beyond a frost giant in terms of strength. They're tougher in a fight. They take typically like more men to bring down in like a battle situation. You know that cloud giants have at least some innate magic to them, usually based around weather, fog, clouds, as the name implies. They are, of course, very large, very strong, very powerful in their own ways. But given that you fought a frost giant and his 2 wolves, you figure you could probably take a cloud giant in a fight, assuming it's kind of the standard for his kind. A storm giant, more innate magic, also still like sky weather based, but a little bit more like water magic in there. As you know that they can be found in the depths of the sea as well as up in the air.
Going for a stroll.
And it would be a tough fight because, as you say, they do have lightning abilities. But you might be able to pull it off. Basically, you are not completely sunk if you come across one cloud or one storm giant.
But if it has backup on top of things.
You know, you took out a frost giant with backup. You might be able to take a cloud giant with backup. Storm giant with backup could be iffy. You just don't know exactly what the situation here is in terms of like number of enemies and also exactly which of the 2 giant types it might be.
He could be old and missing an arm. We don't know. However, Alsana will relay that.
Well, we've looted. Should we proceed, or should we take our earnings and leave?
From what I can tell, he was subcontracting this this Kolgar, as it were. Between what Gilly's told us and my own personal inklings, it's safe to say that he was giving orders to the frost giant we killed, who was giving orders to the hill giants we killed. Or perhaps just bullying them out of what they take. We don't know. But that is to say that he seems not overly worried with the plight and personal safety of those on the ground.
So you don't think he'll retaliate?
I don't know.
I'm not saying for certain, just your opinion.
I'd like to say that's it. It's not a chance I'm willing to take. However,
Proceed.
They're not as brainless as the 2 we fought first. I know enough of that. He's been writing, they've been doing bets on wartime politics. They're intelligent creatures. Now, how much he wants to hear from us, given the fact that we've iced a number of their wyverns out in the courtyard and some of his employees, I'm not sure. But it could be an option if we find ourselves not in a position to have the element of surprise on our side.
Is there anything else we should be worried about, though, if we're fighting in here? Any more wyverns that could...
There could very well
Let us
be.
down.
I did see a rather large cat, I believe, with very large teeth.
That-
It looked like your standard affair of a cat in a window, only in this building's window. And scaled
That-
accordingly.
Bit of a concern, alright.
However, even generally creatures like that do not hold as much weight as things like giants and dragons. I've yet to see one, at least. Beasts have a bit of a... Well, when something starts throwing magical resistance and magical powers around, it ceases to be a beast. And that thing pretty peaceful to me.
So, is there anything we can do to create a beneficial situation for us? Any magic of yours that can bring the terrain to our advantage?
Here's the thing, if we are going to be fighting this thing, I highly recommend against fighting him one-on-one up close.
I'm alright with that.
The bigger they get, the stronger they get. I have some
Wait,
magic. I have some magic I've gotten that I have a bit of a... I don't think my lightning is going to be doing the trick as well. It's not going to be effective considering we're above the clouds, not below them. However, I do have my beam of light that I believe some of you are intimately familiar with. And I have a new trick up my sleeve to shake the earth beneath his feet. It should do some damage, and it should have him have a difficult time moving through the area I designate.
That can work.
Then we
Like-
effectively set up an ambush.
And if I can do that, that also means I can hold my light upon him and leave it there, so long as he doesn't move too much. Now, at that point, it's also possible he might be throwing some range of his own. And if that's the case,
Yes.
I would recommend the harrowing but necessary frontal approach.
Fine. I'm
I
alright
may-
with him. Oh, go ahead.
I may need to get up close and personal with him, but if the cat comes, I'll take care of that as much as I can.
Yes, that as well. If we can deal with him at range, at least to start, and deal with any things that are
Yes.
cutting at our ankles first, that would be best.
You said they may have magic to them?
The larger giants and the higher castes tend to have magic to them, yes.
Then perhaps we should just pick whichever range is best. Imagine from far away his magic will work on us and be more effective than whatever fist he might have to throw.
Also, I tilt her head. So, he could attack us close up, and he could attack us from a long way, and your tactical opinion is to do what's best.
Well, whatever range
Oh,
you fight
dear.
best would be the most effective now.
Yes.
Alright,
range
Master
gives that
Giant
upgrade.
Slayer, please tell me, which range is that?
Well, you tell me, do you fight better up close or far?
I think he means we're going to be adaptable.
Yes. So I'll be at long range, of course, because I can hit a fly from a mile away.
Don't be afraid
Or
to
at
get,
least-
a bit scrappy with some of the lower ends. By no means go boxing with one of the giants, but one of the cats, perhaps, or something like that, you might be able to deal with a bit better than you think.
Yeah.
Everyone is a bit sturdier than usual. Cough, cough. Try not to come out of the end of this with full hit points.
Yes.
I as well am considering employing some new tactics I have, but the general range might serve as the better option for now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Calda,
Yeah.
do you want that cloak just in case you do need to fight from a ranged? One of the darts.
Maybe that'd be best. Yeah.
Just in case.
Does that need to be attuned to?
No, anyone can wear it. Anyone can use it.
All right. Yeah,
Alright,
then that
is there-
would be good.
Is there a write-up of it on the Roll20, or...
I think that I just gave Conrad the information.
Okay,
You can
awesome.
use strength for those, right?
Yes.
I imagine if instead of like the like you know with the like 2 fingers and the thumb kind of dart throw, it's just like a whole-handed, like throwing
Oh.
a javelin, just very short.
Exactly, hammer fisted.
I got tiny hands.
Alright. So, Alaris, don't stay too far away, but maybe we can use his range to our advantage. Say there's some kind of...
And cover him from afar.
Oh, if there's some kind of long hallway, you'd have to... Alaris can at least shoot while he approaches us. If he's approaching us, then
Depends if he is. But point taken.
if he chooses not to, and let Alaris keep shooting until he... is out of sight, then when we go to approach him a second time, he'll be hurt. We'll be in the same position.
Alas, I
Ready,
can give
but-
you a bit of a burning boost to start on your ammunition, but don't expect me to keep it long. Basically, she can cast fire arrows on you before we start, but she's not gonna hold on to that concentration forever. So if you're gonna do stuff, maybe do it early. Also, if we do fight it, I know a lot of you like to target things and choose one specific thing to deal with. Maybe just put it on the giant.
Of course.
Unless
Biggest
you can
target takes the most focus.
yes. Unless you can move it easily, in which case fine, then throw it on something easier, but end goal is the giant.
Of course. Don't worry, we can handle ourselves here.
And there's like a small like glint to Alsana's eyes. Like, if I'm to take my name as the Storm Witch, then I feel like killing a storm itself would be a good start. Wouldn't you agree?
Probably. Now, I will make one note that I could do, though it's definitely not my first choice. I could summon a difficult to move through wall that would injure him and would definitely slow him down. However, doing this will also deeply injure me. So,
I can make it difficult for him to move within an area already.
if you can get him to stay within that wall, then he'd be able to difficult to move and take damage every time he attempts it.
Alright, is what you're doing just difficult terrain?
It's Wall of Thorns.
Does it do difficult terrain?
4 feet for every 1 foot of movement.
Okay, so it's that, and it doesn't specify difficult terrain. It specifies so much feet for every foot.
Correct.
Okay, then I can do difficult terrain on top of that.
That being said, I'll also take 5d6 necrotic damage that I cannot heal from until I get a long rest if I do that.
Okay, well I'll leave that part up to you.
Just as a note.
Oh, also, hold on, let me look up this spell because I forgot I had it.
Before we head into this fight, can we take a quick 5-minute break?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Alsana also has entangle from the wand.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well.
It's concentration. It's strength save. Nah, probably not worth it.
Rock up on a
fuck me,
cloud
running.
or storm. Oh fuck! Oh god!
Oh.
Alsana had pass without trace at will.
Oh,
At will?
At will.
What?
Will?
I forgot about that. I could have sworn it was a once a day.
Yeah, but at
Oh
will.
my god! Yeah, that would have
What?
helped.
No,
How?
It's the unicorn wand.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Forgot about that.
We need to use that shit more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give you shiny things just so you can choose what to use and what to, well, leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
We can leave wands behind.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Our stealth is now officially much better.
Mhm.
Plus 10 at all
Indeed.
times, all around.
Yeah, as
Well,
long as
as long
you
as you
use
make
it, and as
concentration.
long as you are attuned to it.
Oh yeah, it's a +1 to spells. She's always attuned to it.
Okay, good.
Until you get a better one.
It's unicorn horn, but okay. Yeah, Ara's gonna throw a +2 spellcasting thing at me already.
I mean,
I should probably switch into heavy artillery, shouldn't I?
whatever you,
This
longer range is
yeah.
better here.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, and then I might.
Oh my god, no way.
Does it take a short rest for you to do that,
No,
It might. Yeah.
no, I haven't been operating with my.
Ilaris?
I've been operating with my +1 modifier.
Oh, the spell
Put that in
attack.
there. Anyhow, Ilaris, it takes a short rest for you to swap the crossbow.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, everybody has a short rest worth of preparation time. If there's anything that needs attuning to, or anything of that sort, now's your chance.
Let's just assume she hasn't been attuned to it at this point because she hasn't fucking used it because I'm an idiot.
Hey, you know what we should get at some point?
Hmm?
Potions.
Oh, of note, Calda,
Good
you've got
idea.
the mimetic stone on one of your
Yeah.
weapons, yes? The great sword.
Yeah, and the greatsword. That one's on fire, I think, when you were
Yes.
saying it. It wasn't loaded. Awesome.
A 1d4 fire damage on each weapon attack.
I should really add that.
Yep, make sure you've got that in there, because I don't think it was there before.
It was not. I'll just add like an extra damage from a medic stone
Mhm.
thing. Just not saying the type of damage, but like this is a thing.
Yeah. Say the type of damage for now. It only changes if you use a reaction when you take a certain type of damage in order to basically absorb elements it, but kind of
Okay.
permanent on that regard. And if you choose as part of that reaction to store that damage type.
Okay, so until I choose to switch it out, it's fire, or until I
Base-
absorb another element.
Both. You have to absorb another element and say, actually, I want this element instead.
That's fun. Awesome to know. Okay.
Could also not just cast a spell on Calda, like at any point, to give her the chosen damage.
I mean, Calda will take damage from the spell, but yeah, if you're
But
in
it
a
just stays
pinch
like
and
that, yeah.
desperately want it.
Or if we just
Like
want to
it.
switch to it like the day before we go somewhere.
I mean, yeah.
Fire is good though.
Okay. I'm dumb. I almost added it to the wrong greatsword.
Oh,
That's alright.
What is the it's absorb elements, right?
Basically, with a little bit of difference.
Basically, is
That-
it only the absorb elements damages?
Acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
All right.
Yeah, so the
I was just wondering if I could give you like radiant.
No, no radiant.
so can we take that quick 5 minutes?
That we already
Figure
were.
you already
Yeah.
had.
Okay, so just wanted to make sure.
Go do your thing.
Thank you.
Would Detect Good and Evil have done anything in that last dungeon we were in? I don't think so, right?
Let's see. Probably not. What is the range on Detect Good and Evil? Let me look that up.
Yeah, I don't have it on my sheet. I'll look up too.
It's a fun damage roll.
Detect Evil and Good. There we go. It's within 30 feet. Aberration, Celestial, Elemental, Fey, Fiend, or Undead. You also know if a place or object within 30 feet has been magically consecrated or desecrated. And it's blocked by various things.
I thought I'll just cast that right now too, just to make sure.
Okay.
While they're in the room.
Alright. You cast it, you take a look around, magically, no aberrations, no celestials, no elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. Nothing seems to have been magically consecrated or desecrated in this room.
Alright.
Wait,
Oh wait,
what is
actually,
good and evil said?
wait a second. Wait a second. Consecrated or desecrated? Let me hold on.
Consulting ancient tomes.
I'm consulting ancient tomes.
Devin, what is that spell detect, sorry?
Detect good and evil.
Yeah, what does it detect? I'm waiting for
Sorry.
you
Oh,
to
sorry.
remember.
Ariel, just write it out. Aberrations, fae, fiend, undead, celestials.
You get a celestial.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh, that's right, the owl.
Yeah.
Thank you. You do get a celestial.
I assume
It's
that.
Merrimore. I did forget about the familiar. I shouldn't have.
That's okay, it's tiny.
Also, I think
It's more like bird.
also I noticed how the spell works. She kind of assumed as much.
John, you good?
I'm accidentally clicking on things that I don't mean to click on because I
didn't
don't have
see
a mouse.
that.
Yeah. It's bad, but it's a thing that happens.
Let's see. It's being tricky inside my head. Because a place is consecrated or desecrated is easy. An object raises questions in my head as to whether it's the same thing as an object being cursed or whether it has to be like fiendish or something.
I mean, consecrated or desecrated is either it was blessed by something or it was blessed and then like profaned in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
got the desecration from, like, doing a divine intervention down there, so.
Yeah. All right. Just to save you from wondering a lot about the fact that I even had to look stuff up.
Alright.
Technically, you do not pick up on anything that's desecrated. However, there is something that feels, just for a moment, slightly warped. A weird little blip, a sense of, oh, that's not how something should be. Oh, that's like, something is doing its job, but it's kind of twisted around on itself in an uncomfortable way, magically speaking. You just plain know where that thing is. Yes, I believe that's
so.
right. Yep. It is coming from the Sword of Thorns.
Huh. Alsana like tilts her head and goes, "Oh, that explains it." She looks towards Kane and then like back to Calda and it's like, Calda, you looked at the sword Kane wields before, yes?
I've looked at it, I haven't focused on it,
But you haven't felt anything with your profession?
Not entirely. Call's just gonna slowly divine sense.
Okay.
Very much the same thing.
Yeah, not getting any locations. Yeah, and if I missed this before, then that was my bad. Again, it's the same sort of sense of it's not technically desecrated. It's not something that was holy and then made unholy or anything like that. But there is a sense of something having gone wrong.
Maybe when it was made, can that happen? Like when something's made, it
I think more when
happens,
it was
but it doesn't
abandoned.
really.
Given you saw what rose up right beside it.
That's true. Maybe the land influenced it a little bit. Maybe it didn't cause people pain at first.
Or maybe it just didn't incessantly grow its damn vines everywhere.
Something must have happened.
perhaps do a prayer over it, if that's something you do. Next time we have a moment.
I'll try. I don't know who to pray for yet, but I'll try.
Sorry, Zenabra. I have a few if you'd like them.
Maybe. I know you have the little trinkets of gods and all that stuff. You know more about that than I do. Someone just called out and answered to me, and I don't know their name.
I'll raise an eyebrow. I remember asking you at some point about that, but you were a bit more standoffish at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you have any details? Masculine or feminine voice? Anything like that?
It's all fairly... I wasn't in a great headspace. I think those memories are mostly repressed than anything.
Alsana looks over towards Olaris, and then back. It's like, it's not the first time I've found someone's god in that condition.
I know, but all I remember was a voice, and they were fairly calm.
I'm sure you would be if
Oh.
you had almighty power.
Let me rephrase.
Is there-
Because the Almighty brought on some words to me.
Yeah, I am.
I
I'm
thought I heard that.
remembering character building a little bit different. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just know Calda doesn't know who it was. I think that's all I said.
I thought I heard some typing.
So. Oh, I think I'm getting a message now. 1 second, Alsana.
Still don't know who your god is, but they they come in to set the story straight.
Something set the story straight. It's because Ty just forgot an integral plot point.
That's okay. It happens to the best of us. Hi, my name is the DM who forgets everything.
Rewind. I'm a little sleepy.
It's okay.
Get some water.
So you don't know who to pray to?
I don't think I don't know. I felt presence. I don't know if it was my own strength or something else. I know I've prayed before, but when I've prayed, like when we were burying that nice gnome lady we found, I was just doing it to do it. I'm not religious.
Going through
I don't know if it...
Are you?
Not really.
Alsana gives this look like, are you sure?
I just do sometimes what makes me feel good and what seems to help. I'm not sure if anything answered during those prayers.
Have you ever actually gotten any sort of presence or intention or anything like that? Any word from another being?
Never words. Never heard any words.
Do you feel like you have a god to thank for what you have? I know for a fact you didn't get your magic by study.
Oh, I'm just gonna ignore that part. Give me 1 second, sorry.
Also, I tilts her head and is like,
Wow.
what do you want to show me your textbooks?
Just I'm intelligent in other ways, just definitely
not in the magic way.
Just not in the magic way.
Yikes.
I honestly don't know if there's a god or not. So I know from this it's a drive and it may call out to something that may have answered. But no one's verbally answered me. They've only answered with some magic and some strength.
That's not the first non-standard being granting power that I've found out. And again, looks over to Alaris. Especially not one called out to in dire straits.
He knew the name of his.
Yes, and he wields a crossbow and you wield a sword.
But there is a plethora that could potentially have given this power, if there even is one.
Also, just gives this like slow blink and goes, "Yes. Are you telling me there's information I can't find?"
Once again, I gave you permission to look for my daughter. I think my missing daughter. You can do whatever your heart desires. If you want to look and contact any of the gods that may fit, sure.
Sounds like a plan then.
Horrifying. Go ahead.
Horrifying. Do it.
She kind of shrugs like, I proved I can do it before. She looks over towards Alaris. Isn't that right, Xanthus?
Ay. Let's not with that.
Cole's gonna give a little shrug and point to the ring on her neck. Just go, well, if it's any help, this is the focus. It's just my wedding ring. But it helps focus stuff.
I'm just wondered about a being or force of nature that does not make itself known. Must have something to hide.
Something could have something to hide.
Well, conjecture for another time.
Yeah. Just what are we doing with Jilly as we're gonna fight something big.
Whisper about this, Jilly is kind of across the room, scooping some small gems into a bag, kind of picking through them.
Anything interesting?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know how gems work. I'm picking the sparkly ones.
Toss me one.
Also, first I'm checking if she's gonna have any magic.
I think she may at one point. I'm not sure how any of that goes.
Well, I seem to have an ear for it.
There's something calling out there.
Second off, I can't exactly, I mean, she's clearly bound for a certain style of life. One we find familiar. Best I could do is perhaps point her towards Threshold.
She'd be a good asset to them. And can find good little places to hide when they want to make new temples or hide at temples of cult.
Well, considering there's a group of, apparently a brotherhood of giants, considering on placing bets on things like this and running businesses to collect sheep from poor townspeople, I get the feeling that the Order might want to hear about that, and who knows, maybe she can help. But we'll offer that once all things are said and done here.
Once we're off of an actual castle.
Also, we still need to find the shrine.
Yeah. Maybe after we find the shrine we can head back up, or after this all is over we can go there.
I swear to goodness if it's anywhere in this building.
I think we may be a little bit too far. We could look.
Clouds float, but point taken. Alright, are mostly ready to go now?
Is everybody else?
Kane's gonna take a quick look for any other gems or cool stuff in this room.
There's plenty of cool stuff everywhere. Basically, I was saving most of the looting until the very end.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. Everything in here is basically gold worth, art items, trinkets, that sort of thing.
Trinkets, odds and ends.
Yeah. So you're not going to find anything that'll be, if you're looking for like magic items or anything, you're not going to find anything that'll be useful in the fight or anything.
If we're looking to protect ourselves or deal some damage.
Nope.
Can you not? Literally, I was like, it's making it. I hate you. I hate you.
Anyhow,
John, I love you sometimes.
I'll say that yeah, you can pretty easily just stuff a few things in your bag of holding, and we'll worry about the
Some may
loot
call
thing
them junk, but
later.
us, we call them treasures.
I will mute you.
Stop
sir.
it. Stop it with the Skyrim merchandise.
Alright, let's go kill a giant. Or get killed by a giant, whichever comes first.
Better or worse.
All right. Are you leaving Jilly behind, or are you taking her along with you? Because she is eager to go along and at least watch. She promises she'll stay out of the way. I won't even be seen, not a peep.
Alsana gives a glance towards her. You better keep it that way. More importantly, perhaps drag one of our bodies out of there should things go terribly awry.
I'll try. At the very least, I can tell your story.
Alsana gives it a look. You'll drag the body out first.
I'll try. Yeah.
Also, I have some various alchemical ingredients on me, so if you're feeling up to create a potion that can perhaps put us back together, maybe. She got sure.
Okay, the only potions I've ever made were when I was like 5 years old, and I just kind of mashed up leaves inside of a rock bowl and poured water on them.
It's called
Alsana-
tea.
Alsana gives it, narrows her eyes, just like... You sound like a... You know what? I don't have time for this. Point is, drag either me or the one in armor back. We can heal the others.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll stay behind the door. I'll do that. So, are we going to like highest point, probably biggest room, find the kitchen? What are we looking for?
We're looking for what room holds the giant.
Pretty much,
That makes sense. Okay, so we're just kind of gonna wander around until we find it.
Unless you can pick up on anything.
No tracks in here. All stone. Just taps your foot on the floor.
Seems so. And also, spins the unicorn wand in her hands and casts Pass Without Trace on everyone.
Lovely.
All right. So, everyone go ahead and one more stealth roll as you guys try to find your way through this castle to where the giant might be. Jilly is up there with a 24. That's a 30
Oh my
on Calda.
I'm going to so I can pass
Beautiful.
that trace from Asana.
As I just said.
30 on Calda, though. Wow, that's
Yep,
impressive.
that tracks.
13, 14, not bad.
17.
Mm-hmm.
17. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. All
Hey, I
right,
gotta
you guys go
29.
to gather up, cast Pass Without a Trace, go to head out. Halfway down the hallway, you look around and it's like, wait, where's Calda? Because she is silent as a ghost. You see her after a moment, but there is a heart-stopping moment where you think maybe the paladin got picked off and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
But with the party intact and feeling very stealthy indeed, with the usually rattling armor-clad paladin in your midst.
Jesus. How did you do that?
Found a
I was
website.
gonna say
There's a website.
Don't
never
ask.
mind.
We can discuss it afterwards. You ghost through the hallways, searching, looking through areas like you pass through what looks like a dining hall, a kitchen. You pass what seems to be a used bedroom, checking all of these. Nothing yet, but a little bit ahead, you hear the sounds of a little bit of like rustling and a little bit of squawk noises. little low rumble occasionally. You approach what seems to be a very, very large room. And let's see. Yeah. You draw near, you see a place where the wall opens up, and you see a couple of blue curtains from floor to ceiling, and a part in the center of them. Just beyond the curtains, you see the back of what seems to be an enormous chair. And further down the room, you can see another set of curtains parted in the center. Further beyond, another set. It gets a little bit hard to see with perspective and things overlapping each other at that point. There seems to be firelight glowing from inside that room. A little bit of a dull orange flicker, painting the curtains and the walls and the floor from what is visible. And as you approach and peer through the curtains, the first set, kind of looking around them very quietly, very carefully, you look around. On either side of this throne, there are a pair of enormous marble statues, each with an outstretched arm holding a actual flaming torch. The torch being about the size of a small brazier or bonfire, honestly. Casting light far up into the shadows of the ceiling, easily twice the height of any of the halls and rooms that you've come across so far. And you see perched on the arm of the statue on your left-hand side, high above the floor, this is probably a good 50 feet up all on its own, you see another of the Peritons. Over to the right against the wall, curled up right in front of what seems to be a massive pillar, sort of half set, half jutting from the wall, is a large, dark-furred cat. Picks up its head and yawns, and the curving teeth reach to the bottom of its jaw, even as its mouth gapes open. There is a faint haze of smoke kind of above the torches gathered on the ceiling, against the ceiling. You can hear a little bit of rustling further within, and you can see very faintly beyond all of the curtains a slight glow of natural light.
Do the torches look like recently lit?
Let's see, what kind of check would that be? Probably something intelligence-based.
Not like
Let's just...
Arcana
doesn't seem to be magical fire, this is natural. Well... Nah, just go ahead and make a raw intelligence check.
Raw intelligence. Alright. Guidance.
Mhm.
Oh, come on. 10.
Alright. 10, hard to say. They are blazing quite well. But there's a number of ways to achieve that, whether recent or not. There are soot stains up the walls where the torches are close to those, but easy to achieve. The smoke cloud seems pretty thick, dense. Could have been collecting a while. But they are also really big fires, so you're kind of back and forth on options.
Does she at least know that they've been lit Like they must have been lit within the last week.
Yeah, within the last week, probably.
Okay. And it's just those two creatures in the room for what they can see right now.
Those are the visible ones. You do hear a little bit of rustling, similar noises further within.
Wow.
Well,
What are your thoughts?
we can take the opportunity now and deal with the likely hostile 2 or more things currently in this room.
I'm for that idea.
Otherwise, we can try a different place. But there seems to be the only population, and if there is a giant or something sat farther within or somewhere else, that we can perhaps have an advantage of seeing him walk in the door.
Is there a map, Ariel?
There is one, but you wouldn't be able to see certain areas, and it's a lot of bother to do the
Owl.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
if you
could send him scouting. He has flyby. So, like,
My concern is that giving away the stealth, but yeah.
I mean, that was an owl.
the owl didn't do stealth. Go owl.
roll stealth for the owl, please.
Woo! Okay, I'm just gonna roll d20 plus 3. No.
Whoa.
So 15.
Okay. Yeah, 15, as long as he's close. But Mori flies in. What's his fly speed?
It is 60.
All right, Mori darts in through the opening of the curtain. He gets perhaps 20 feet shy of the next opening and being able to see anything inside of it. Actually, he'd probably be taking the dash action.
Yeah, so 120.
Yep, he gets through. Before hitting the 100-foot mark away from you, you get to see a flash of his vision as he looks in this second curtained-off area. There is a second saber-toothed cat looking startled and looking up at him. And then just up ahead, he sees another peregrine. That's at the 100-foot mark. If he turns tail right there and starts flying back, he's just about the area of the curtain. And that would be still 60 feet from the peregrine, who, yeah, I rolled perception on earlier, does see Mori, and is going to dive straight towards him with talons outstretched.
Miss!
Miss! Alright, so it does not get the dive attack, however, it does have a gore attack it can try to make as well as if it was a turn. Miss!
Listen.
God damn!
Okay, at this
No.
point, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a little marker where Mori is and where the peregrine is, and then I'm gonna move you onto the map and say, what the hell, close enough. So Perry is there. Mori is 1 second while I pick a nice bright color. Let's see, Calda's got a purple, so let's do another purple for Mori. Mori is this little circle.
So
We're not-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're
And
not
let me
on the
go
map,
ahead
so.
I'm going to move you onto the map now. I'm sorry, I was going ahead and getting that ready. You are at the far left edge of the map, just on the other side of this curtained off area. You've pretty much got a 5-foot gap here. I'm not going to drag Gilly on. Gilly is kind of tucked to the side and kind of peeping out and watching. But at this point, attention has gotten on to Maury, so I'm going to go ahead and open the initiative tracker. And we're going to go ahead and roll during this high-stakes chase.
Oh gosh.
Fuck.
For once. For once!
Dang it. Okay. Okay. I can deal with this. It's fine.
Oof. Oh, that's for the other cat.
It's okay. Oh, that Periton is very low initiative. Let's see.
Ugh. Good. Good.
And that one is over here. And that is over there.
That's not good.
All right.
Oh!
Is everybody on there? Alsana, Kane, Calder, Alaris, yes, you are. Let's go ahead and descending turn order, change some music up.
Oh, I don't like what that invisible 20 is.
We've been.
Ignoring that, Kane, you see this happening. You
I don't
know
want to
that
ignore that. What is
Maury.
that?
You know that Maury can keep flying and fly fast, but the Periton seems to be able to match him in speed and is following him straight towards you. Is there anything you want to do or prep for your turn?
I am considered hidden right now, right?
You are considered hidden, yes.
Sorry, I'm just shifting the turn order so I can actually see the whole map. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take my shot at the. Can I just roll an insight to see if I'm more scared of the Periton or the saber-toothed tiger?
I wouldn't say it's insight, and I'd say that's entirely up to you as a character, as a player. Who are you more scared of? If you're
Okay, so-
asking which one looks tougher,
Yeah, basically.
you have
Unless I've gotten a
experience.
full minute of observation of them.
Probably not a full minute. You
Okay,
had
okay.
experience with the Peritons. You know you can take them. The Sabertooths are an unknown. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough. Alright. Well. Yeah, I'm not a cat person. So,
Okay.
on this one right here,
All right.
do my owl soul short bow with advantage and the additional bonus damage that it gets off of a hidden attack.
Okay.
I have clicked the button. Hopefully it works.
19 hits, 6 piercing damage, plus your
Alright,
1d6.
the 1d6.
Yep.
Perfect. Alright. 1d6 plus. Oh, alright.
Wow.
Okay. Gonna go with a Brighton.
Nice.
Okay, one frightened.
It's gonna be
Wisdom saving
hopefully.
throw. Yeah, it's scared.
scared,
Yep.
but it's not sure what.
Well, it knows what. Some arrow just came out of nowhere and just, pierced its flank. It had no idea that was coming.
And
So you pretty much have the cat thing where it's just suddenly leaps to its feet, just twisting and rioting and
and
Oh,
second
that's a
attack. Is it just first attack's advantage or both?
I think, probably first
It
attack,
hasn't
but I could be
noticed you
overthinking it.
yet.
I'll allow the
Yeah.
second attack at advantage, but not the 1d. Actually, let's go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Have a round.
Have a
Take him. Take him down. Okay.
So-
7
Nice.
plus your 1d6.
Oh, you guys saw it before I did. Okay.
Yeah, it's being slow.
especially when I have to change advantage to normal. Six.
Yeah.
There we go. I mentioned this on the Periton close by, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Here we go, and going to step forward. And just to... Oh man, my computer is not happy with my movement right now. Actually, I'm going to basically step to here and tell everyone, other than the Peritons, let them come to us. And I will stick to that. That'll be my turn.
All right. This one has seen its Periton friend, sort of, go chasing after an owl and heard the yowling and screeching, so its curiosity is piqued.
Attention.
It's gonna wheel around here. At the very least, see Kane through the curtains, and full speed ahead. It's gonna charge, probably angling downwards a bit to get around the throne and get towards you. So it'll be about right there, 40 feet. So it's used its full dash action in order to get that far, and it is gunning for you. This Periton's turn, the one you just shot, it is not frightened, and so it's got one easy to see target. That's a 40-foot movement, so it is going to get its dive attack if it hits you. So he's about there, about 30 feet rather, 35. Yeah, he still gets dive attack. Talons. That's a miss. So no dive attack. Gore 23 to hit 7 piercing damage.
Yeah, that'll hit.
As it uses the rest of its movement to peel away with flyby, so it's no attack of opportunity unless you have some way around that, and it swoops back around towards the other statue, and you hear it give a piercing shriek as it raises its head. This one is frightened and cannot willingly move closer to you, so it is going to run a little bit more away and duck around this side of this curtain, kind of limping and trailing blood after it.
Okay, remember that you resist bludgeoning.
Yep,
Hold
I
on.
keep bludgeoning, so.
Alrighty. Ooh. I can.
I'm gonna say more moves on your turn.
Okay. I could. How
He
far
needs
can
to
you
get
go?
within, like, it's an action to poof him interdimensionally, or he can go 120 feet in any direction if he dashes.
Yeah, he's gonna dash to the right, all the way to here, sort of surveying whatever the hell is still
Got
there.
him.
See if he can. Okay, thank you. And just see if he can see anything else that isn't what's already on the map.
He can see that on the map, which none of you know about or have seen yet. Unfortunately, he's over 100 feet from you, Calda, and cannot communicate this.
That is okay. Action called a may poof him? Let's see. Yeah, because I'm still stealthed. So action, poof the owl.
Okay.
And then bonus action. Let's get this going. Divine favor. And that is it.
Alright, make sure you remember that 1d4 radiance. Elaris.
Okay, so I see the cat and the bird, right? But does it see me? Or am I still hidden?
I'll say for the sake of this that you are still hidden.
Okay, cool. So I'd get advantage on hitting this board.
Oh wait, the bird actually flew by close enough to Kane, he might have seen you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat, I'll say the cat hasn't seen you if you want to shoot the cat at advantage.
Alaris' stealth check was a 29.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, sure. advantage. Go for it.
Cool. Yeah, I'll shoot the bird
All right.
first with my heavy Xanthian crossbow at sharpshooter since I have advantage.
Okay. Hit.
15. Nice. Cool. And I did minimum damage, but still did 16. That's awesome. And then I'm going to go for the cat. And then I'm going to go one on the cat. Is that at advantage?
Okay. Yeah. I'll allow it.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. The cat is still barreling forwards. The Periton looks rough, but is not dropped yet.
And yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can do in my bonus action because I don't really want to waste anything. Yeah,
You
no,
can put a
I'm
hex
just gonna.
down if you want.
I could, but I only have 2. I only have 3 of them, some bitches. So I want to save one for the giant at the very least.
Yeah, you don't have to use your bonus action.
Yeah, so I'll just move this way,
Okay.
further away, so it doesn't really catch my scent. Hopefully.
Okay. This
Yeah, try to sneak
Periton
over there,
just
yeah.
saw an owl fly into the area, suddenly go poof, and is extremely confused. Hears a commotion, doesn't know what to do, wastes its action trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and then starts kind of flying in this direction, just like curiosity driven. That's all it does. Alsana, what would you like to do?
She is going to. Has she been seen yet?
Not yet. I went ahead and said that because of your stealth rolls, all of you got 1 round of stealth hidden,
All right.
essentially.
In that case, she's gonna go ahead. Sorry, has either of these taken more damage?
I don't know about Taken. I'd say the Periton looks rougher.
Okay.
Yeah, the Periton took more.
So then, yep, she'll just kind of, from around the corner, throw a ice knife at it.
Okay.
First level, this would be an advantage. I might just roll again. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
4,
just roll
so
the second time.
Just
It'll
do it
hit
again.
anyway, actually. But see if it's a crit.
Nope.
All right. So 7 piercing damage, and he needs to do a dexterity saving throw, yes?
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Oh, whoops. Where is it? Dexterity. Yeah. How do you want to do that?
Ooh, just into a nice statue, hit the ground.
Yep. And as you say, as it flies away and it's starting to wheel around for perhaps another pass and another attack, you hurl this ice knife, and it just shing right into the center of the chest, and you see the ice spread and crackle around the impact point, and then burst. And little chunks of frozen Periton scatter across the floor. Alright, with that, it's this guy's turn. An owl just swooped past him too fast for him to
Also,
snatch.
she's just gonna back up into the hallway, and that'll be your turn.
Yeah. Can I just say, guys, I should never ever have let you be in the doorway.
Nope.
Never. Because at this point...
Well, it's either don't let us be in the doorway or extend your maps 30 feet in all directions.
Look, this map is
well.
extended. If you guys had been extended 30 feet back in the hallway, you would have started at 30 feet back in the hallway.
Yikes. Anyway.
Anyhow,
extend it 30 feet from where the enemies are in a given room.
It was. And then you got to huddle in the doorway because they're all coming to you, because of course they are. This one is only going to get so far. He's not interested in being in melee range, but he's going to be easy pickings. Yep. Okay, Kane.
All right. So Kane. Yeah, he's going to remain where he's standing and take 2 shots at the Periton coming up. Okay, good enough advantage. Here is 1.
Okay, that hits.
Alright. And here is another.
Also hits.
That's let's keep my dice for now, actually.
All right.
And for my bonus action, I will switch to my sword.
Okay, probably a good thing as this comes barreling up towards you. You are the first and easiest target and the one that's fixated on. So it is going to attempt a claw attack on you. That's an 8. That misses.
Oh,
Oh, wow. All right, but he's there. He's seeing others. He's kind of circling around in order to get a couple more of you, another one into chewing range. That'll be Ilaris, but that's it for his turn.
alright, cool.
This Periton is dead. I'm going to clear him off the map. This Sabertooth cat is no longer frightened. It lasts until the end of your turn, yes?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to get there. And having shaken that off, he's going to charge forward. He cannot quite get to you at a dash, however. He gets just behind the throne, basically. Right about there. Actually, he's going to actually circle around and try to go for a better advantaged situation for straight through. All right, that'll be it for his turn. Calda.
Alrighty. Calda's gonna go up beside Kane, and we're gonna take 2 great sword attack.
Well, this is gonna have 2d4 radiant additional on each hit too.
Mhm.
Yes, and my 2d and my 1. Yeah.
Sorry, 1d4 radiant, 1.
1d4 and 1d4 fire.
Nice.
1.
Very nice.
Hit.
And then let's do that extra d4.
Nice.
So that's
Nice.
18.
Yep, 18.
18 damage.
Very good.
And second attack.
Also hits. And
Yeah,
what do you
that-
want to do?
Oh,
Nice.
just
How do you want to do this?
chopping that thing up
Okay.
from the head. Just behead it a little bit.
All right. You swing the great sword around, glimmering with fire and radiance, and it tears through this thing's flesh like butter.
Alright,
Laura.
cool. So yeah, seeing that Calda has that kitty cat handled, he's gonna track his crossbow onto the other cat and take 2 more shots.
You're currently
Uh,
behind heavy curtain, but you can just
Yeah.
kind of zip around Kane and Calda and
Yeah.
kind of up there. It will take some of your movement,
Yeah.
just keep it in mind.
Yeah. So just like here.
Sure.
Cool. I don't mind being out of cover anymore because it's fine. I have a heavy crossbow. It's okay.
Okay.
1.
Nice.
Oh, that wasn't meant to be at advantage.
Still hits, still the same number. So 13
Nice.
piercing.
That's the first one. Nice. Okay, cool. And we'll go for another one. Ugh.
That misses.
First bad pull of the combat, but okay. Yeah,
Oh, that.
combat. And yeah, that'll be. Can I use the rest of my movement to just sort of jump back over here behind the heavy curtain?
Probably. Let's
Yay. It's like 15,
yeah,
15?
that was like 15, so yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I'll do that.
All right. This one is still flying.
Lovely.
See stuff happening. It's about there. All right. Alsana. What do you want to do?
I think you had to step away for a second. I'm not sure if he's back.
Oh, of course.
Well,
Right,
let's
well-
go for a word to our sponsors. It's water. We drink lots
It's
of water.
water. We're sponsored by water.
Hydrate, bitches.
Drink your water.
Jesus.
Can't be an adventure if you're, well, first,
Dehydrated.
unless you're a bard.
This is sponsored
Yeah.
by every single text generator tab I have open on my laptop.
How many do you have open? Just out of curiosity.
4.
Okay.
I have one for like the weird glitchy, I have one for the tiny one, and then I have 2 more for funsies that we haven't seen yet.
Scared for that one.
Christ.
They're not bad. I'm trying to look for weird ones. I like in between figuring out combat and doing this, I can't do this during a session.
Probably, yeah. Probably not.
Yeah,
a good
because
idea.
I'm like, because I knew 2 of them were already like pinned tabs, and the other ones are just like quick Google search. Sweet. So I'm like,
Hi, sorry, I'm here.
Your turn. Go.
Yep,
Okay.
figured. Alright, Kitty is closer. Did I miss much?
Not too much.
Lots of damage on the other cat.
On the one close to us?
The one that's still alive, yeah.
Alright. So I'll just go ahead and... Yeah, she'll go with that. Go ahead and throw a frostbite at the kitty.
Alright, that's a constitution saving throw. Let's see. They cannot roll today. So that's 9 cold damage.
Yep. And has disadvantage on the next weapon attack.
Yes. Okay. Anything else?
That's it. She'll stay where she is. She's about 10 feet off the ground.
Okay. This one. He's got a reachable target. Got a couple reachable targets. Yeah, 25, 25. Oh.
It has
But-
only reachable targets.
Yeah.
Only reachable target.
However, it really wants to be able to dive. So it's going to go for the further
Of
one in order
course.
to build up momentum and really get that swoop in. As it does, it'll fly by another like 20 feet for the total movement. But Elaris, first you get a dive talon and gore attack. The talons
Yes.
do not hit. The gore probably how's a 14 for you?
14, let me check. That is my armor class, so that'll hit.
All right, so
So,
you get
Resist
scraped.
piercing damage, though.
God, these cannot roll
So
today.
that's 2. 2 damage.
All right. Of note, Ty has left at an interesting point.
what? I just took
At
what?
At the end of the Periton's turn, suddenly
Yeah.
some
That
of the
sounds
smoke above
Diana?
the throne condenses and pulls
Oh, of
together
course.
into
It's cloud giant.
an
isn't it?
enormous humanoid almost shape, but on a scale far greater. And with the snap of an ending spell, suddenly a cloud giant thuds to the ground just behind,
What a boy, honestly.
Oh boy.
and he looks down at you all and
We're
says,
fucked.
"So, you would kill my pets, would you, little ants?"
We aim
Oh,
to hit the
shit.
storm.
He is going to strike out with his morning star in his hand
Christ.
with his turn at first Calda and then Kane with a 10-foot reach.
Uh-oh.
So,
Yikes.
Calda 19 to hit,
27
27 piercing.
Fuck.
Kane 14 to hit.
Misses. Holy shit.
Misses. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm out of reach. I can't.
You're out of reach. You can't riposte.
I can't.
What the fuck's happening?
You took 20. You took 27
You
damage.
just took
from the giants
27
here.
points of damage.
Is it magical?
The giant is here.
It is piercing, it is not magical.
Fuck yes, -3.
Okay, there we go.
-3. I love it.
25.
24. Really, John?
24. Okay, 1 second.
24. 24.
Alright. And Divine Favor's still up.
Yeah, beats it.
Okay.
All right.
Goddamn.
Yep. I think he's good with that. Kane, your turn.
Oh, that's that Periton one. Okay. I had it like just barely out of the reach of my vision, I guess. All right, going to go over to this way just to spread out a bit. And I wish more things had bludgeoning. Going to make my first attack. It's not worth it. Okay. No, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it with the sword. I assume that hits?
That hits, yes. 14 slashing damage as you tear through a gap in the splint mail that he is currently wearing. Okay, another 2 damage.
So gonna steal his armor.
And it is enormous.
I'm not gonna wear it, I'm gonna steal it.
Yeah, he's not afraid of you.
Yeah,
That's a real holy shit, that's fucked. Alright.
let's see. This is wisdom. Oh! Ooh.
It's, ouchie, bro.
That is an ouchie moment, bro.
Hey, you can succeed. Anyway, second attack.
Yep, just deciding something real quick.
Okay.
Alright, everything is strength and or wisdom saving throws. Lovely. Let's go with the second attack.
Can you help move me out of there?
Yeah, needed something. I don't think that hits, does it?
No, that does not.
In case the answer to your question, Devin, is unfortunately no.
Thanks. Tips.
I missed. What do you want me to do?
No, it was like, hey, if you hit, and it's like, haha, I didn't hit.
Didn't do it intentionally.
Alright.
I'm sorry, was there anything else?
No, that's it. That's it. Fuck.
Okay. Alright.
Didn't go how I wanted it to.
Yeah, well. So often it doesn't. You did pretty well, though, for a while.
She says I'm about to get squashed like a fucking
Put
creep.
away.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Because Tiger wants to pounce.
I know.
Actually, Ilaris is right there. It's just gonna zoop, 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 and it's gonna go for Ilaris.
Gosh dang
So-
it.
I'm spreading this around, okay? I'm gonna move that out of the way because it ends up in about the same spot. Flying forwards and attempting a claw attack on Ilaris. Does a 15 hit?
15 does hit. So 9 slashing damage.
I need a strength saving throw from you.
Fuck. Dang it.
You are down and it gets a bite attack as a bonus action.
Dang
Next
it.
time, stay close
21 to
cover.
hit. Actually, that was an advantage because I'm just gonna d20 just in case it's really bad. Nope, you're good. 21 to hit, 5 piercing.
Okay, cool.
All right, you are prone beneath this tiger as it is trying to maul you. But that is it for its turn. Calda.
Great.
It's paladin time, baby. Bonus action, channel divinity, vow of enmity, 2 advantage, greatsword attacks
On the giant, I'm guessing?
on the giant.
Of course. Go
Yep.
for it.
1.
I'll
my
get it
shit.
eventually. It'll be here.
Nope. The advantage is slow.
There we
Yeah,
go.
26 to hit,
Yes.
extra
Beautiful.
d4.
Woo!
Why is that?
Nice.
22
should be
total.
3 of that fire
Take-
damage, not 7.
Yeah, that's weird that
Yeah.
just fucked up now.
Okay.
So the fire damage is going to be -3 when I click that again?
It's adding your strength to the fire damage.
I know it didn't do that when I first clicked it, which is...
That's okay,
I
that's
go
okay.
fix that.
So anyway, 13 plus 3 plus 2, that is 18.
18.
All right. The second one,
14,
9 plus 4, yep, plus 5, 14.
And
Okay.
I think I'm... Yeah, I have to stay where I am because I don't want to get hit by Kitty right now.
Move 5 feet down so he can at least get your saving throws.
Yeah, here's my aura. There we go. All
Thank
done.
All right.
Alright.
Elaris, you are able to get up despite being prone. You kind of
Yes.
shove the cat's claw off. You roll to the side, get to your feet.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's half my movement.
Mhm.
And I will put 2, I'll put 1, I'll see what happens after putting 1 bolt into the cat.
All right, that is enough. You
Nice.
aim the bolt right at the side of his head, right through.
Cool. I'm gonna try for a sharpshooter shot at the giant. Because I imagine giants are big targets and don't have that much AC, I hope.
It was mentioned that it
Use
has splint
armor.
mail on, which is heavy armor.
Yes.
So it's going to be pretty high.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I'll just do a regular shot then.
Drop your hex on it too.
Yeah, I'll drop a hex on it.
All right, bonus action hex. Giant is hexed. Let me find a little token for that. There we go. Skull and crossbones.
Lovely.
So you'll do an extra 5 necrotic if you hit, and that hits. So 14. 21 to hit to 14 total damage. Very nice. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I'm going... Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to use any movement, just because I want to stay within, called as aura, or what.
Alright. Periton here is going to... Let's see. Yeah. Oh, actually. Those are tied up with the giant. And the Periton is gonna swoop out into the hallway at Alsana.
Of course.
Hey, you've been untouched. So, Talons, 19 to hit.
Yep.
Extra 2d8, that's extra 6 damage. And multi-attack, it gets to make a gore attack 20 to hit. So,
Yep.
a total of 19 damage overall. And with that, it kind of swoops back away and is circling around for another pass. But it is now your turn.
So kind of like swears to herself and just gonna put her arm in front of her and kind of do the produce flame, but just like, no, more. It goes to about 5 feet in diameter as she casts Flaming Sphere
Okay.
at 4th level.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see the details and where are you putting it?
I unfortunately don't have it on my sheet right now.
Yes. Okay, let me go ahead and Flaming Sphere. I will pull it open so I can read it. Thank you. All right. 5-foot diameter sphere, fire unoccupied space of your choice within range, and any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw.
Now, on top of that, I can ram it into something as a bonus action.
Bonus action, move it up to 30 feet. Okay. Saving throw against the sphere's damage, and the sphere stops moving this turn. When you move it, you can move directly. All right, so that's your sphere. Oh, you're ramming it into the Periton.
Yep.
Okay. So, 4th level 4d6.
Yep.
Or half on successful dexterity
So,
saving throw.
16,
All right, let's go ahead.
DC 17.
And, yep. Dex. Haha. Nope. But that Periton has not been
yep.
touched yet. So
Yeah,
16.
hold on. Harvest Scythe.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna drop 2 of them actually. Want this thing gone. So 2d10.
8. It is still up.
All right.
Okay.
And she'll kind of look over, just wanting to get out. Can she, from where she is, I don't know how tall the doorways are or anything. Basically, can she get away from the giant without attack of opportunity? Like basically getting over to where Kane is. Sorry, out of the hallway, not out of the giant. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can get further into the room without leaving his range. He's got a 10-foot reach.
All right.
As long as you skirt that, you're good.
Just gonna move over to there.
Okay.
And just also maybe ask Kane to perhaps aid her escape. At least I will. She won't. And that'll be your turn.
All right. Yep. Next Periton's turn. It's gonna swoop over Alaris's head and dive down onto Calda.
Yep.
Because she's the closest. 15 to hit. Miss. Gore, 23 to hit 10 piercing.
That hits.
And at that, he keeps on flying. He's gonna actually go kind of over here.
That was not supposed to be an advantage. Why is that Oh! So it wasn't supposed to be an advantage, but I rolled a 1, so it was a 9.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep, you still got that
Also-
11, so you're good.
Make sure you put on your auras bonus, because it affects you too.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Good point.
But, like, I've made both the saving throws, so
Yeah, just
there's a thing.
Put that on so I remember concentration.
All right. The giant is currently in a target-rich environment. He's not stupid, but let's see. What would aid his decision-making process? Alsana has
I just
rammed.
fucking stabbed him.
Yeah, you stabbed him.
The two ones on the ground are doing the most damage to him.
Yeah. But he also knows magic when he sees it. So I'm gonna say it's an even choice. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna roll 2d3, but I'm gonna roll 1d3 and then 1d2, and it'll spread out a little bit. So,
Right.
from left to right, Calda, Kane, Alsana. The first one's on Calda. 1d2. The second is Kane or Alsana. It is Alsana. So Calda and Alsana.
Alright.
As a couple of morning stars strike out. So first Calda, 15 to hit.
Missed.
Nice.
Miss.
Alsana.
Yep.
21 to hit, 20 piercing damage.
Yikes.
And as a bonus action,
Oh fuck.
yep, you've maintained concentration on the spell. As a bonus action, he suddenly turns to mist and just over there. With that, he backs up a few steps, let's say in that direction. Kind of laughing and holding his arms out and making goading motions like, come on, little ant, show me what you're made of. This is nothing. Kane.
That was slightly frustrating.
Yep.
Let's see. You know, I haven't used this ability yet. How high up is the Periton right now? I assume high, right?
Yeah, they kind of swoop on an upwards trajectory. I haven't been putting numbers in it because the
Okay.
lateral space is more important.
Yeah, no, that's alright. To move to there, my movement. And still using my sword, I'm going to use my lunge to make my attack.
Oh, ho, ho. Okay. Okay.
Ah, fuck me! The damage was so good too!
Dang. Dang, dang, dang.
Yeah. You lunge forward, but the giant just bats it out of the way with the haft of his morning star still laughing at you.
Alright. And... because, frankly, there's no reason not to. Fuck this guy.
Alright, the 12
Fucking
does not hit.
But still a deck save.
Right, alright.
13.
Wait. The dex save line is
Extends out for me 5 foot. Every
each
target
creature
with 120 feet.
except you and the target must make the dexterity
Oh.
saving throw. The ranged weapon attack against the target, on a hit, the target takes damage from the javelin.
I thought it was both.
Yeah, it's kind of both. We did this last time with the two giants. The one that got hit by the javelin took the first lightning damage and the piercing. The other one had to do the dex save.
Oh, learning experience. Okay. And bonus action, just gonna switch over to my I think that Calda uses as well. Glaive.
Okay.
Just in case.
Was it not
Yeah.
also an action to draw the javelin? Like a free action? So wouldn't that stack up?
You would be right about that, yeah. So I'll stick to the sword.
Okay. That saber-toothed cat is gone. Calda, it is your turn.
Okay, Calda is going to move up her 25 feet right here, a little bit below Alsan. And I'm going to. Oh, I never updated that actually. I'm going to put. Yeah, I need some healing. I'm gonna just lay on hands myself. Let's do 20. I can't click on it because I need to update the number because it was 30, but hey, for sake of it happened. Boop. Cool. And then bonus action. I don't want to get close to that thing and I have concentration up. So I am good.
Okay. Elaris.
Get the south one.
All right. To probably pop up into this curtained doorway, but you've got a number of targets if you're there. John?
Yeah, so I'm gonna move here,
Mhm.
and do I see any bolts peeking out from near the neck area?
Of
The giant.
probably not.
Probably not. I don't
Bolts?
see any of the bolts the one bolt that I pricked him with.
It might be somewhere. If you want to use an action to make a perception check, given scaling.
Dang it! I
Probably
wanted
not.
because if I could, I wanted to cast darkness on it, so I would blind him. But otherwise, yeah.
John, I'm gonna do the
Yes,
meta
that's
thing.
why.
We're
I'm
going
saying,
in melee with
listen,
him. No, John, we're going.
Devin.
Yep, they're going in
I
melee
wanted to
with him.
blind him. Yes, I know. I wanted to blind him by putting the darkness around his head,
What's the
right? Because it's tall enough that you guys wouldn't get caught in the darkness, right?
what's the radius of darkness?
15 feet.
He only
To
extends 5 feet from inside himself. That'd still be like 2 squares out from him.
Yeah.
Anyone in
'Cause
melee
that's
with
what I
him
was
would be blind.
thinking. Yeah, because I wanted to do it up from the ceiling so that it wouldn't catch it. No one would be caught in the darkness, right?
Can darkness be
If that's
cast
not a
on
thing
something worn and carried?
If not worn, but like it's just a bolt that's stuck in his thing. So
The thing is,
technically
you
worn.
stuck him with a bolt, but you didn't specify any kind of cold shot or anything. So saying
Okay.
that it's in the neck is iffy.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's in the neck. That's why I asked you if I could see
Okay.
any poking near there.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll just take 2 more shots at it.
It is a creative thought.
Okay.
If you want to try to specifically put a bolt there to use darkness next turn, I'll allow you to make a cold shot at disadvantage.
Okay. I'll take 1 call shot, and if it misses, it misses. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that misses.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do that one.
Okay, I'll look at the first number. It is 4 higher, so 18. So, yep, 18. So that does hit. 10 piercing damage.
Yes. Dang. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Give me your hex damage.
Oh, right.
Get a 1d6 on there. You don't want to miss that. All right, another 5. There we go. Okay. With that, we've got a Periton who has a big ball of fire right next to it and is not happy about this fact and is going to rush towards potentially... Yeah, it's going to rush towards the thing he just most recently saw move. So it swoops towards you, Elaris. with a talons attack. That's a natural one that
Natural
misses.
one.
The gore, however, it swipes at you as it flies past. Let's go ahead and 7
Resist.
piercing.
Resist, so that's halved
Okay,
to
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alsana,
lovely.
your turn.
This is annoying. She's going to go ahead and move the sphere 30 feet over to there.
Okay,
Not that it's doing anything.
you never know. These things are going back and forth.
Yeah, I was planning on it doing something. And with her action, she's going to. She's not doing too hot. That's a bonus action, anyways. Fuck. Yep, she's going to cast Ice Knife on the Periton that she already hit with the Flaming Sphere. Also, is the music not going anymore for anyone else?
It's still
Yeah,
going
stop
for me.
too.
All right, it's just doing one of those things.
Yep, pause and play maybe.
Ice knife on.
The Periton that just swiped by Alaris.
Okay.
That's 2nd level. And it doesn't hit. Yep.
Yep, but it's still a dexterity saving throw because hit or miss, it goes kapoof. And so, dex save. No damage. It succeeds.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Wait, what are you apologizing for?
Yeah.
Luck had to run out sometimes for us.
Yeah.
It's not how it works. Yep, and that'll be there. Next turn, she's going to fly back just a bit over to here. Kind of take cover if she can behind the statue.
All right.
That'll be her turn.
Get a little bit of cover there. This one's turn. Kane looks like a shiny target. It's going to go for Kane.
Oh, I'm always a shiny target. Let's go.
Yeah.
Did you pause and play the music at all?
No, I did not.
Okay.
So as it swoops past, let me go ahead and.
Oh, I thought you meant for the giant. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh no. It's that one. I can't pause. I have to stop and hit play.
There we go.
There we go.
Better. Okay. So, sorry, Kane. This one's gonna try to do a gore attack first.
Mixing it up.
16, that misses.
Nope, beats it.
Oh, real? Oh, that's right. You changed your armor. In that case, it has a dive attack that it stacks on there, so that's 16.
Alrighty.
As it flies out of reach, it rakes back with the talons, but misses. Okay. The cloud giant.
Yep.
Laughs, extends a hand towards you, Kane, but doesn't actually grasp you. It just holds a hand up over you, and you hear it say something with the tone of an incantation.
Magic bullshit. Let's go.
Yep. As it tries to move you with telekinesis.
It's a strength save, I believe, right?
Ability check with your spellcasting modifier, contested by the creature's strength check.
Okay.
So strength check on your part, and
Now, I have to ask really quick. Alaris, what stat did you
Yeah.
hex with?
Huh?
What stat did you hex with? Did you
Charisma?
Hex... Charisma? Okay. No, I mean, what of their stat did you hex?
oh, he didn't specify.
Oh, okay.
I didn't specify now.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, I just try to look at the damage.
Do you want to roll 1d6 for which stat it is if it's random?
Sure. It's ability checks, not saving throws. Keep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
That's why it's relevant.
Yep, it might be. And that's why I'm having you randomize it, because it wasn't specified.
Constitution.
Yeah.
Alright.
So if there were any con checks, then it
Oh.
would... Well.
Oh.
Its grasp on its magic is shaky, but the grasp on you, unfortunately, is not shaky enough. You are lifted upwards You know what? Good. Let's say 20 feet.
Okay.
So you are currently restrained and held and suspended in midair. He would have to use his action to maintain the grip by repeating the contest. But I don't see any way for a creature to break it on their turn. Hold on. Let me double check, make sure. That's object.
You can
Nope.
always make an action to try to break a grappler restraint, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds good. However, there is no DC.
I think it's contested.
It's probably just contested again. So, Kane, on your turn, would you like to try to restrain this? You're about 20 feet up. You would probably have to do some kind of acrobatics check to try and avoid fall damage. But you could try.
Let me just think for a second, because that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Restrained. 0. Can't benefit from bonus to its speed. I'm gonna use my action to equip my shield.
Okay, you can do that. Yes.
Your
And bonus
lamp
action
shield.
will second wind.
Okay. Kane is using this opportunity to take a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice up here.
Oh, is this what it feels like, Asana? I get it now.
Taking scenery before you get launched Skyrim
Hold
style.
Call
would you
does that. Call's gonna look at like Alaris. Fuck. Also, I'm just gonna get rid of the flying fucks. I got this.
Okay.
Do advantage.
Oh boy.
Go. Do advantage greatsword. 1.
Okay.
Please click. You're a laggy little shit today, aren't ya?
Oh.
Natural 20 dropping a level 2 smite.
Okay.
Smite.
Let's
Level two
add
smite.
this up. Add your
Add two,
2d4 for the
Ooh.
You gotta have 2d4 for your spell. All
And
right.
Another.
3d8.
How many d8?
3d8.
3d8?
Another 3d8.
3d8.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Help me add this up.
18, 22, 28, 32, 41.
41 points of damage. He cannot maintain concentration on that. There is actually nope,
It's
nope,
halved.
he can't.
halved.
Halved. So 41, 20, 21?
Yeah.
Yep, it's always round up.
21 for him. He might be able to make the save. Nope.
Commoning
Drop
it.
watch.
Calda, yeah.
Yeah.
Calda, you swing the sword. Do you screech drop it at him, or?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll 2d6, Kane, for how much damage you take.
No, that's fair.
Now for my second attack.
All right, go for it.
Another
my
second
God!
level smite.
Do it again.
Another
Beautiful. Okay, I am adding this time. 13 plus 4 plus 5.
double
Holy
natural
shit.
And then another
4 plus
38.
Another 38. Holy
Oh!
God!
We're doing it, boys. We're doing it, boys.
Okay, I damn it, I misclicked on the calculation. Hold on. 13 plus
22, 20, 34, 38, 58.
58
That was a
points.
total of 99 damage in one turn.
Oh! This
We're at
is
level
beautiful.
7 goods.
David and Goliath here. This is the tiny hacking at the ankles of the very, very large. This is beautiful. Thank you for doing
I
that.
think I yelled so loud my computer lagged.
Jesus.
Yes, that's 99 in one turn. Well done.
The giant is looking rough.
Fucking better be.
Yeah.
Better be.
Oh, the
If
giant is
not,
looking.
then I'm suing.
Anybody looking at the giant's face right now? There's an expression that his expression very quickly changed. The first strike where he dropped Kane was surprise. The second where he staggered was that of a giant who is seriously regretting some recent life choices.
Alaris, please deal with the curtains.
Let me see
I'll
what I
deal
can
with
do
the
on my
parrots.
bonus action for a hot second.
Oh, you're not even done.
I don't think I can do an offhand because I'm using a two-handed weapon.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Alright,
Yeah.
just make sure.
I already have something
Sorry.
that's doing extra damage.
I'm flicking mute button, that's why I'm worried.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys want to take care of the Paradins, I can.
Alaris, please do. At least the one. At least the one coming up
I
between
can
you and me.
Knock on wood.
Here's the thing,
I can
Lars
withstand
has
another
hex,
hit.
though.
What's that?
Lars does
I
have
have
hex,
on the
but he has
giant.
the ability to move the hex. I can't move my advantage.
Yes.
He
also,
can only move the hex on death
Okay,
of
but
the giant.
Yes.
Oh shit.
okay, no, but I can hit it with a
Yeah.
truck, and if I lose concentration, this is gonna be a lot less damage. A 1d10 is not
Yes.
worth the multiple of my flaming sphere. I dropped a 4th level on it.
Okay, true.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Just deal with that Paradin to the south. You can keep the one at the top. I just need Elsana's turn to go off without a hit.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Bonus action. Actually, I need to mark off the other slot.
Yep.
Bonus action instead of keeping divine favor, because I've. I'm just gonna shield of faith myself.
Okay.
Yikes. Okay.
All
So
right.
divine favor is gone, but shield of faith is here, so I have 19 to my AC.
All right, Elaris. I'm sorry, I skipped past you. It is still your turn. Go ahead.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna go after the Paratons, as everyone is badgering me to. So
Please.
cool.
Just the one to the south. You can leave the one at the top. Just
The one. Cool. I'll leave the one to the top to anyone who wants to take it, but I will put a shot in, see what happens to the Paraton to the south of me.
Mhm.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, cool.
Okay, yes. 10 piercing damage. It's wobbling in the air, it's crying out. It looks like it's about to turn tail and run. It's still up though.
Fine. Alright, cool. Dang it!
We still have a live Paraton here. Looking rough though.
Dang it. Can I use my bonus action to try and... No, I won't, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'll goad it into attacking me instead of Alsana.
Okay. Go ahead and roll just a charisma check, just to see how it's gonna do. It's gonna roll wisdom. Yeah, it's goaded
thank you. I'm sorry.
against its
I'll heal you.
much better judgment of anything else. It's gonna charge straight at you and across, kind of end up behind this statue's head. It does not get its dive attack. It just attempts a gore and a talon strike. Pretty sure the gore hits.
Gore hits. That is halved to 4 damage.
Yep. Honestly, I don't think you can fail a Constitution saving throw for concentration on that. So, no.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
If it's less than.
Oh, it's 10.
DC is 10.
My brain shut off for half a second. Please make a concentration check.
Cool. That's a con save or a
Yep.
constitution check?
It's a
Okay.
con
Save.
save. You're good.
18.
Fine. Yep.
Hex is good.
Yep. My brain shut off halfway between going, oh yes, Hex is up, that's concentration, and this is how this works. Alsana, it's your turn.
Okay. So, bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Going to ram that 4th level sphere right in that giant's ass.
Okay.
That's a sentence.
Yeah.
Nice.
And at the same time, Alsana's just gonna like put both her hands up and just like clasp them together, as I will also cast Erupting Earth at 4th level.
Oh, fuck yes.
All
Fuck
right.
yeah.
So that's 2
So-
dex saves on its end.
Dexterity
Nice.
save. That's for the sphere.
That's a
Roll the
nat
damage.
That
4d6.
6. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop 2 scythes on that.
In.
Do
Okay.
that. Fucking do
8.
that.
Nice. And Erupting Earth. Let's. I need to look that up.
That is a dex save or 40-12.
Yeah,
40-12.
it's not telling me where it is. So
Wow.
okay, dexterity saving throw 4d12.
Roll it.
Oh,
Go
fuck.
for
It's
it.
a full brunt of the 4d12.
Do it.
And I'm gonna
4d12.
and I'm gonna do 2 more harvest scythe.
Okay,
Oh, Alsana.
roll it all together.
Nice.
How do you want to do that?
Fuck
2d20.
yeah.
Hold
With
on, hold on.
overkill,
2d20?
Oh, sorry.
it doesn't matter,
2d20.
frankly. The
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
5 and 7 in the beginning was enough. It has
Alright.
12 health.
Alright, there is going to... Basically, the ground is going to just give out below him, and the sphere is going to go right on top of him, and just...
Alright, yeah, Alsana brings up the earth from below and the fire from above and just sandwiches the giant right in between. At this point, Peritons are possibly flying away.
Mostly dead. I think there's just one
Yeah.
left, right?
There's 2. They are
2,
booking it,
yeah.
however, you can pick them off at your leisure. I will say that
Cool. I'll do that.
clears the battle.
I'll pick them off. Sounds
Yep.
good.
And Calda coming in clutch there, Jesus.
Yes, with 2 natural 20s.
I'm impressed with myself.
99 damage
yourself,
at
yeah.
level 7 in
Level
1
8.
Yeah.
turn. Level
Yeah.
8.
Level 8.
Level
Yeah.
8?
Yeah,
Yeah, because Alsana and I leveled up.
with the shrine.
Oh shit, I'm level 7. I thought I was level 6. Okay.
I'm level 7.
Okay, you hear from behind the curtain, that was awesome!
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Calda, good lord.
Oh, Alsana heals.
Calda, that was
Hit points.
amazing!
Also, Alsana, jeez.
Alsana!
That was, yeah, I think that was overkill, but hey, at least
so
I earned a
just-
nickname.
Why do you use lightning if you can do that?
Because, lightning is consistent, but...
Like-
I
Also,
thought it never
Yeah, I'd
struck
agree
twice in the
with
same
that.
place.
not when you're me. But more importantly, that,
Fair enough.
the earth and the fire are things new to me, and she, like, slumps off the broom and falls backwards, and both of her arms are, like, one of her arms is charred up, and the other is, like, cracked and, dry.
Do you need anything, or
Wow.
does that go
Do you
away?
need
No,
ointment
no,
for
that-
that?
And they're just hanging at her side. It's like, no, they fix themselves. It's just, well, the scythes I throw are things that take life energy, and, well, when you channel a lot of it, it takes a lot out of you.
Jilly
Alsana,
edges
go.
over and looks down. Do I need to drag you out of here?
No, I'm perfectly
Alright,
fine,
just
my
making
dear.
sure.
Alsana, take a breather. What do you want me to take from this fucker?
And she turns around and is like, toenails.
Oh,
You and the
Storm
toenails.
Witch?
Wait, what?
She has a weird thing with giant toenails. Don't worry about it.
yep.
They might,
She has
There
a
is-
foot thing.
There is a look of utter dawning disgust on Jilly's poor little face.
Alsana looks over. I can brew an alchemical potion that imbibes the power of the giants into one's person.
Do you want
But
fingernails
with-
too?
Toenails?
Yeah,
Ugh,
I've
Little
got
one.
Fingernails?
alchemy's a bitch.
whatever you
I
can get.
am never gonna
Actually-
drink anything you make. No offense, but no. No.
Small one.
What's
No.
the...
It's only
I'm gonna go
if it
look at the
makes-
treasure. Goodbye.
Also,
Candy's gonna like grab her on the top of the head, like, I'm gonna come with you.
yeah,
Let's go
Alsana
pick up the
floats.
treasure.
Alsana floats over as
come
well, and
with
just
as well.
I'll check if there's anything. I have an eye for magic, so I should be okay.
Alright, what check does Alsana usually do for toenails?
Survival.
Can I just cut the toes off with the sword? I have
Oh,
really
dumb.
shitty survival, but I'm pretty
I
strong.
mean, yeah.
Make an attack roll.
Is the vow still active?
It happened-
Still up.
It stops when it's like
reaches zero?
dead, but it is prone.
Fucking.
Also dead.
I'm gonna say that you're also trying to do precision work on this, kind of, with
sure.
a big heavy sword, so just regular roll.
Alrighty, boop. Come on.
I mean, just cut it off at all the foot.
Yeah, 15.
There's some hacking going on.
Knuckles, foot
Fingers and
knuckles.
toes. Go ahead and roll me. Let's call it 1d12 plus 2.
So let's go ahead and put a healing spirit on herself.
So you get 8. fairly intact nails.
How many rounds are in it? How many
10.
10 rounds in a minute? So I would get 10
10d6 for the healing.
Yep. And she's gonna take all of that because she needs it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. I've been looking into druid, so yeah, know how that works.
How did Alsana end up taking more damage than me? In that round?
Because she took a hit.
She got Morningstar.
Yeah.
Did I not get hit by a Morningstar?
No, you
I
did.
have
It's
the worst
just
Maybe
wall
one?
ever.
Yeah, I think you got
I
hit by one,
think.
and it
Choices
was
were
like
made.
19.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I think I was only ever hit by the Paratons and the Sabertooth.
I
Yeah,
well,
think
we have a
I
video to
did. I
reflect
take
that.
a Morningstar. I don't remember. I think I did.
Anyhow, that can be discussed and figured out another time.
I think it's kind of.
Yeah.
We can check loot next time too. I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, I can just go ahead and
Cool.
give you the loot outside of this, or we can do it
Cool.
in session next time, whatever you'd prefer.
Let's hit this up
I
for
think
next time.
outside.
In session next time, but experience right now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, we'll do
After the
experience. Go ahead and end the recording.
Cool.
Good game.
Fuck.
GG.
GG no read.
That was awesome.
Alaris, sincere thank you for for letting me get that turn off. It's exactly what I
what?
want. Thank you for taking the Periton and letting me get that turn off.
No problem. That going was the clutch though. It was like, fuck, come on, hit me.
Okay. Until next